Getting live. Getting live tonight. Getting live. Getting live. Getting live tonight. Getting live. Getting live. Getting live.
Damn it. What the fuck is wrong with you? Yeah, laugh it up, you dirty beefy.
Ring, ring, ring. Hello, Simpson Burgess. Welcome. Silence. Welcome. Welcome back to Krown's magical abusive cave.
What the fuck? Abusive cave? How dare you? That's 10 lashes for you, bitch. Anyways, sorry, with love. It's a term of endearment, okay? We speak Finnish over here, and bitch in Finnish means like, I love you, ma'am. Anyways, with that said, welcome back to Krown's non-crypto cave. Welcome back to the old cave. Welcome back to the community and everyone out there. It's a glorious day. It's a lovely day. It's a very green dildo day, baby! As Bitcoin hits new all-time highs, nearly $69,000 and 420 for the good old Mimi, baby. Oh, goddamn! I'm pumped up right now. Holy fucking moly, this is great. Anyways, in a more subdued tone, well, it's a nice day. It's a girthy green dildo day, and you know what? I like to be celebrating with everyone here. And if you're new to this channel, if you're new from Elio Trey's channel, I apologize for all the nonsense that I'm gonna spout today, because you're gonna fucking hate it, baby. Oh man, you dipped down into the cave, and now you gotta take off those pants and receive further ramming from the good old green dildo of gods. Holy fucking moly! This one's going good, baby. Anyways, with that said, probably gonna see a little bit of a short-term pullback. So there we go. Get the old excitement out of the way. Welcome back to Krown's Crypto Cave. It's a lovely Tuesday morning out here from Helsinki, Finland. Nice and cold AF. It's -1 degrees Celsius in case you happen to give a fuck. And we got plenty to talk on Bitcoin on all time frames, basically, as all time frames are moving right now. And we did hit our short-term targets based off the breakout from, I think, a couple days prior now. And with that in mind, let's get now into the Krown application. But before that, I would like to wish you the best and the happiest, or a healthy and happy start to this nice little Tuesday morning. And let's see what we got going on the top-end dashboard over here, of which Bitcoin dominance taking its first little 0.25% move to the upside, of which I do think that it would be relevant to check it out today, as I really do believe that this is, well, we're seeing the start of it. We're seeing the start of it right now, and most altcoins going to get soaked up versus their Bitcoin pairing. Now, that's not to say that altcoins will do poor versus their US dollar pairings. Of course, whatever direction that Bitcoin does indeed go, altcoins generally going to follow in that direction, however, in varying degrees of strength. On top of that, fear and greed index out of 75 right now. I imagine that's, a little bit late to the coin, as I imagine it's probably ticked up a few points there, as we are starting to obviously get into the new all-time high territory. Anyways, as far as top 10 best coins go, we see Loopring once again on the top 10 right there, which is I mean, we've seen it many times there in the past week now, so that one's, I guess that one's moving, I suppose. BAT, Helium, OX, Litecoin moving, holy shit. VeChain, Dash, Ethereum Classic, Neo, and EOS. Bunch of 2017 shitcoins right there, starting to raise their hands from the grave. Not necessarily the best signs in my opinion, but I do look for Bitcoin to continue onwards and upwards on the higher term timeframes, that is, of course. Anyways, I'm going to turn off the alerts for right now. I do apologize, but we will get into that after the early morning rituals. And let's go into the market data tab over here, of which there are several important things. So we still see that the global leverage ratio is continuing on to new all-time highs. We are literally at almost 0.2% now. So the market is very leveraged, but that is not the full picture. As you can see right here with the global open interest, it is also at all-time highs as well. And on top of that, we do see that the global funding rate is now really starting to tick up. So this is 0.0374%, which is not super high financing, but we are starting to see it trend up, as you would expect. This is to be expected on, of course, like an all-time high move as well. But more importantly with that, I do look for this to trend up and remain up for a while into the next major high that we very likely see. in my opinion, probably somewhere in the mid 70s on the higher term timeframes. Of course, lower term timeframes is going to be ebbs and flows right there. In fact, I think that we're probably going to see one relatively soon, if not right now, perhaps even during the stream. And so I really don't get too concerned until this gets consistently for, at least a few days, preferably even more than that, above 0.1%, like you saw on all these major highs over here. And as you can see, these, it did that several times on the last run from basically November 2020 to middle of, I think it was like end of Q1 2021. And of course, those were obviously reaccumulated and marched onwards and upwards. So it's not like a death sentence. It's just, very likely going to get a bit of a local high. Is it raining outside? What does that sound? Anyways, I do think that it'd also be relevant to go over here into the flow analysis. And what do we see? We do see, again, something very, very important right here as... Did you just mock me? You're so rude. You're so rude. Honestly, I wish I had a supportive girlfriend. So you're dumped. And if there's any men or women out there, because we do not discriminate, who are supportive, I am more than open to such things. Anyways, just kidding. Well, maybe. Anyways, what do we see over here? A lot of buys coming in right now, but more importantly, we've been documenting the CVDs, especially over the past, I guess a little bit more than 2 weeks now, suggesting that, hey, this setup as far as leverage go is more likely to be a short squeeze than a long squeeze, at least initially speaking. And that's exactly what we've gotten over here. And you can see very, very clearly that Finex, CB, meaning Coinbase or what GDAX, whatever the fuck they call themselves now, and Spot all leading this rally. So that is very, very good. This is a spot driven rally. And we did see a lot of shorts actually go up yesterday on essentially, what people would have thought of as like the double top. Now, in my opinion, double tops are never anything more than just a bit of in a double top, a bit of a short-term pullback with long-term continuation implied. I've almost never, except I think less than 10 times, maybe even less than 5 times I've seen on the macro scale where a double top or a double bottom actually holds for the macro scale. Almost always it does lead towards long-term continuation after a bit of a, after a bit of a pullback or a bounce, depending upon where you come at it from. But as you can see right here, perps are still, which by the way are of course leverage positions, are still net market sellers. So the leverage traders are being more aggressive, shorting essentially or selling. And right now there's a lot of buying going on spot exchanges. So this is being spot led. And of course, when we are talking about leverage positions, we don't know if these are covers. We don't know what their other positions are. We don't know if these are, hedges against their options. It could be a multitude of different things, obviously. But still, that would theoretically put more potential rocket fuel for some upside, as those positions can be theoretically, or not theoretically, they can be liquidated, obviously. So with that in mind, I am now going to go into the price action charts, and let's come up with, or let's kind of follow up on the last 24 hours, of which we did see our measure move hit based off of the ascending triangle base that we put in over the past couple weeks here from late October, obviously. That was also in line with the one spot 618. Also put up a shorts video on it yesterday as well. And we did identify that also hidden bullish evidence plus 12-hour jewel signal plus volatility on the ground, all looking for expansion in the upside direction, were very likely to, well, essentially fulfill that. So once a target like this is met, especially at a big extension like this, which is not a macro extension, by the way, not a macro one, it's just a short-term one, I would be looking for a pullback, which I do believe that we're seeing right now. And I do believe that at minimum, we will see 67,000 bucks hit yet again, perhaps even all the way down to 66. However, I am of course long-term bullish as long as Bitcoin is, especially closing daily dodos above 64,000 bucks. I'd even go as far as saying, you could say like 63.5. We could move up our point of invalidation from yesterday, or at least I could. Of course, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but I do think that is relevant to do right now. So again, short term, probably showing some bearish divergence, I'm going to guess over here. We also getting a little bit of a pullback signal on the jewel, and yeah, a little bit of bearish divergence right here. This is an hourly. This is not like a death sentence or anything like that. Pullbacks in this very strong trend very likely lead towards, just higher lows in this case. If we even go to a buy hourly, do we have the same sort of setup over here? Yes, we do actually. We do have some bearish divergence forming right there as well. What about a 4 hour? No, we do not have bearish divergence possible on a 4 hour. So very likely just a short-term pullback right here, and then very likely still long-term continuation on the medium and higher term timeframes. This still looks, for lack of a better term, fucking good. Anyways, and also we're kind of working off of, high volatility conditions over here on the 4 hour BBWP. I do think that this does trudge up on a little bit higher, but we are kind of in the zone where I typically look at it as like, okay, we've seen the majority of this short-term move, probably want to reconsolidate it and then carry on trend on the higher term timeframes. Anyways, what did we do in the last 24 hours that was of great significance that we spoke about yesterday? Daily CME did close above 63,200, obviously, and now we do have daily Stokes crossing back onto the upside, and it is within the bullish control zone. And on the daily HVP right here, another volatility indicator, just looking at it from a slightly different angle, we are literally at, single digit percentile still. So if you're comparing the short-term timeframes versus the, versus the daily, which I consider actually more of like a medium-term time frame, it's rather interesting to me because as far as this goes, the move is just beginning for the daily right here. So understand, how all the different timeframes relate to each other. Obviously, you can see pullbacks on short-term timeframes with long-term and higher-term timeframes suggesting continuation still. And also, we did see the 2-day close yesterday, or did we see it actually close yesterday? Yeah, we did. And that one also crossed up in the critical zone, which actually look at as a very good thing. And of course, I should also denote that on the monthly, we did see this cross the upside in the bullish control zone. More importantly, every time that we have seen a fresh cross up into the bullish control zone is represented by all these vertical bars. And you can see that these are just ridiculously phenomenal runs. Our first one right on over here, giving about 10,000%, which is absurd. Our next one over here, giving about 3,600%, which is also absurd, but much less. And then our more recent one, giving about 500, 600%, which is also absurd, but obviously reduced as well. So I do expect kind of diminishing returns on something like this. This current market is, far cry away of what we've seen over the past like 5 years even. But I also do want to match this up with another volatility indicator being the Bollinger Bands over here, of which I think I forgot to mention this one yesterday, but in case if I did or did not, both CME and spot, actually no, CME did not close above the topside Bollinger Band, but spot certainly did. So again, looking at volatility from a couple of different angles, we have trend continuation, obviously closing on new highs. We have volatility on our daily BBWP over here coming in from pretty much the lowest levels that we've seen in a very long time. Also HVP as well, and Bitcoin is closing above the topside Bollinger Band. So essentially the way that I do look at this is that Bitcoin is in trending motion as long as we are closing above, yes, the topside Bollinger Band, which guess where it is? Pretty much at what I would expect for a short-term pullback, somewhere down around about 66,000 to 66,500 or so. I'm not saying that Bitcoin necessarily has to go exactly down there, but somewhere down around there is completely fine. And then of course, CME is going to be able to have a chance to fall through today as well, which will be confirmed with any sort of a daily closure above 67,700 or so. So again, today maybe a bit of a short-term pullback, but I am still looking for long-term continuation. All higher-term timeframes are bullish, all higher-term timeframes are continuation, and all higher-term timeframes are looking for volatility expansion, which I think is rather interesting as we do go through the old rigmarole right here. By the way, this is the lowest BBWP read we've seen on the buy daily, on the 2-day essentially, since last October. And last October was the run basically starting from 10,000 all the way to 42,000 unabated before our first sort of major reversal right there. Anyways, very powerful stuff, very, very good. And if we do look at, do we want to look at our other higher term timeframes? They're more that less just follow through. I also forgot to mention that the weekly jewels follow through as well. We identified this fresh signal coming in from middle of October. Yes, these things do take time. Obviously, being a weekly, you can expect 3 to 5 weeks for it to actually play out, and we're kind of within that same format right here. So I still like all of these things, and I have no reason to be bearish on Bitcoin now at all whatsoever from a higher term time frame perspective, especially as long as Bitcoin's above $64,000. But if you want to go buy the book, technically speaking, you would say $61,500 in this case. But for all that it's worth, I do like what's going on right here. And obviously, it should also be known that we did indeed close the bi-monthly above the topside Bollinger Band as well, which I've been very much banging on about, as this one represents obviously the macro scale. And if we're looking at the macro scale right here, well, what do we have? We have a continuation of trend. Bitcoin just put in a bi-monthly higher low, being a very high term time frame that is rather significant, right around $34,000. We closed on new highs above our prior $58,000 high, so it is trend continuation by definition. We already have volatility, again, expansion on all time frames, even this one as well, and momentum heading in the same direction as we looked at earlier. So all of this is well and good. I'm just following up on the shit that we've been looking at for the past month and a half now, and it's coming to fruition. So these are things that, again, I want to be following up on, because it can very easily be lost in the weeds. And right now, this is this is just kind of simplifying everything and making it nice and dare I say easy. It's not that it's necessarily easy. It's just, if you can recognize these sort of things and have the patience with them, then, well, I imagine most people could probably hold through something like that, to be fair. Of course, trade the lower term timeframes as well. We were actually having a good discussion about that in the Discord earlier, of which, for my own strategies in this current portion of the cycle right here, what do? Well, I essentially keep my collateral in Bitcoin or Ethereum, whatever I'm going to be trading, and then I will take trend trading positions on those assets. So it's like you're holding the underlying asset, and which I'm happy to do in an overall up market, and then also trading a little bit on top of that as well, trading around those positions, which is, in my opinion, kind of where the magic happens. And this is the beauty of Bitcoin Q4 runs, in my opinion. So looking really, really good right now. Again, just short term, might see a bit of a pullback here, which is all well and good, and I would be looking for any sort of pullback to essentially put in a higher low. Should also check out Bitcoin dominance here too, just because I think that it is relevant right now. I've been calling a reversal on this one, saying that this area right here, right around 43, is very likely to be the next major higher low. And I do believe that we're seeing that right now as Bitcoin does lead this rally to the upside. So how would I confirm that this is going to be your next higher low? I want to see a weekly closure above 45 and a quarter over the next couple weeks here. If that happens, I'll be very, 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 very intentful on calling a major massive move on Bitcoin dominance to the upside, minimum 51%, and realistically I'd be looking much higher than that over time as well. So we are at kind of like a critical juncture right here, and I do look at that as a good thing. I know that people love their altcoins and everything, and fair enough. I get it. Like, you can make a shit ton of money doing that. It's not my game personally, but hey, to each their own, right? But understand that if you're thinking in terms of opportunity cost, Bitcoin probably going to be outpacing them if that condition is fulfilled. And well, I do think it's probably going to happen. Fair enough. I'll let the market decide what's going to actually happen and then position around it essentially. But at the end of the day, all of this is just a game of statistics and probabilities. There's no I predicted it, no bullshit like that. I'm never going to say anything like that except in jest or for fun. Whenever someone talks like that, you can kind of mark them off as, at least in my experience, probably doing it for YouTube clout, and probably does not have much experience themselves, because man, I've learned a lot of things about the games on YouTube, and it's kind of dirty. It's kind of fucking dirty, to be honest with you. I won't say anything here because I don't think that it's appropriate for me to say on a public venue like this. But man, I will just leave it at that, and be very careful. Be very careful around the YouTube sphere, because well, I'll just leave it there. That's good enough for that. Anyways, we are how deep into this video? I do not see, because for some reason my thingy. There we go. We are about 30 minutes into this video right now, so I think it would be relevant to go into the chatties now. So I'm going to turn on the alerts for the time being, and let's see what else has got marked up over here. And what do we have? We got Mr. Saiva Vask. Hopefully I'm saying that properly, man. Went heavy on Lincoln. I'm doing well now. Nice. Thoughts on a possible retracement before $50? Oh boy. Thoughts on a possible retracement before $50? Sir, $50 is almost a 2x from where we're at right now. Yeah, there's going to be a retracement before then. Very, very likely. Temper your expectations, sir. I fear you're getting into the moon boy territory. While I do think that this one very likely works its way towards $50, is there going to be pullbacks on, medium and lower term timeframes? Extremely likely, yes, 100%. Could it even fail in reverse? Yeah, that's possible as well. I don't think it's very likely, but it's certainly possible. So it kind of reminds me of that question the other day, although not as egregious, where someone was like, they're like trading some, or they were talking about like some 20 or 30 cent shitcoin, and they're like, hey, what's the likelihood this gets to $10? Like, first off, like, 1 month of history, and second off, this thing's trading at 30 cents. You're talking about a fucking $10 move. What the hell, man? Temper your expectations, sir. Like, yeah, this is a this market's rather generous, but don't get fucking greedy at the same time. In this case right here, yeah, Link very likely to follow through, man. Is there going to be a pullback before $50? I would strongly believe so. Probably somewhere around these shallow 40s, if I had to guess, on the daily. Probably puts in a higher low and probably works its way onwards and upwards. It's a good chart. It's just understand that, like, it can still be a good chart and not have to go up in a straight fucking line, man. Like, what is this gonna be? Is this woo, yeah, we're green dildoing all the way to $50. No retracement. Shit. It's probably gonna look something like that, man. It's probably gonna look something like this, if it's gonna look like this at all to begin with, as we do have a measure move somewhere right around mid to low 40s. So I'd probably be looking for something like this, and something like that perhaps. And that's even getting way ahead of myself to begin with. Like, when people talk about shit like that, that's not real technical analysis. That's not real trading. That's for YouTube and Twitter clout. That's not real. That's to get views and follows. And well, to each their own, right? Teach their own. But yeah, man, I'll just leave that right there. Yes, I do think think that it would be relevant to be looking for probably some retracements, especially on lower term timeframes on the path from $35, very likely to $50, and maybe even beyond. Sorry if that came off as a little bit intense, but sorry, man, I just couldn't help myself. It's nothing personal. What's up, Wally? There he is. Happy birthday to Mr. Wally. Our youngin has grown 1 year older, so he's ready. He's ready for the taking. Who's gonna be the man? Who's gonna do it? He said, well, I'm gay for TA, so what's wrong with that? Wally says, B-Day pump, let's fucking go. Green corns for everyone. That's right. Green corns for my bunghole, green corns for your bunghole, green corns for all bungholes. Cornholio is very, very hungry-o, if that makes sense. So, does anyone even remember Beavis and Butthead? Mr. Rubio says, hey, Krown, can you check out Mana 4 hour daily? Yeah, let's do this one. I would like to follow up on this one. I believe we called a bit of a consolidation and pullback on this one last we looked at it. And yeah, we're getting that right now. It's still, good, but I would like to record on this and follow up on it. All right, here we have Decentraland symbol MANA versus the dollar, and we've been recording videos on this for the past week or so, and I believe we did call a bit of a short-term top at that $4 region last week. Now looking for sideways consolidation, of which we are getting right now, which is good. This is good. But I don't suspect that this one's going to be moving, towards new all-time highs anytime soon. It's very likely going to work off its conditions right here in a range between about $2 and, as a low, and about $3.50 as a high. As long as it's between there, I do look at this as very, very healthy for the long term and very likely to be at continuation long term, more importantly, with breakouts above that $3.50 number towards $5.50, maybe even beyond over time. But for right now, we do see that daily BBWP is working off of, extremely volatile conditions, and we do see daily RSI is a little bit more corrective here as well. So overall, sideways is the name of the game. Short-term timeframes are probably showing, a little bit of a, a little bit of a bouncy bounce probably coming up, maybe even to the top side of the short-term timeframe range, which would be right here at about 306. And I'm actually going to get rid of this area right here. I don't think it's that relevant. But as long as you're below about 306 on a 4 hour delta closure, I don't think that there's anything, super interesting even for the short-term timeframes to be looking at right here. Again, as long as it's within this range, very good, very healthy. I really, really like it for the long term. I just imagine it takes a little bit more time. Anyways, go check it out from this angle over here just to see if this agrees with what I'm saying, or if we are going to be seeing momentum turn up, sooner rather than later. And what do we see on the daily? Daily will actually turn back. Oh, wow. Actually, this is very interesting. Daily will actually turn back up above 263. Again, HVP extremely, extremely high right there. So I don't know if that's going to have the juice to actually break the top side of this consolidation, but let's see what the 12 hour looks like. Yeah, 259 as well. Okay, very interesting. 4 hours should be, popping up above 268. Short term, I would be looking for a bounce regardless of whether you're bullish or bearish. Extremely likely to get to work its way back up towards 287 or so. If it does start to take out about 306, I suppose I would be looking for a test of the top side of the range at it's technically speaking 363, not 350, but 363. And if it can start to close, especially 12-hour or daily deltas above there, I suppose I would be looking for continuation to new highs. I'm a little bit skeptical of that. Again, while I am long-term looking at this as very, very good, I would, we could maybe see something like this where it pops up here, tests the top side, comes back down, trades a little bit more sideways, and then tries to move to the upside. Long-term, again, very, very good. I have nothing bearish to say about this thing, especially as long as you're closing dailies above about $2 even 220. I mean, it's strong as fuck right there. So overall, long-term, very, very good. Just short-term, more sideways and corrective in my opinion, and hopefully that was helpful. And there you go for Mana. Sweet one, man. What's up, Mr. Bimmer? We can do Woo on the hourly and 4 hour and daily. Let's see if it has a daily. I have to remind everyone that if you're going to request a very new altcoin, which I don't know if this one actually is, it's not that new, I guess. Be understanding that the timeframes are going to be difficult to do if it's, or like the higher timeframes going to be a lot difficult to do if it's super new. Anyways, this one, in a sideways consolidation as well, and generally healthy here as long as you do hold that last daily low at about 115. However, short term, selling off the top side of the range. So where are we at? No, this one's fine. It's very likely to test the official top side of the range yet again. It looks like 139, maybe even 140. Just want to see a 4 hour closure above that 140 level, and then yes, I would be looking for this one to continue onwards and upwards. Hourly, a little bit of a short-term pullback looking like it's in progress, probably back down to about 125. So very, very short-term time frames, very likely pull back, and then I'll be looking for one more try a little bit higher. I remain, long-term looking at this as good, especially as long as you're above 115. Below 115, I do look for a little bit of a correction down to somewhere between about 99 cents and $1 even. So hopefully that was helpful, and there you go for Woo, sir. What's up, Jay Clay? Hey, man, appreciate that. frank honesty when it comes to TA. Well, you know, here's the thing, man. Like, I don't need, while I do have a little bit of fun, again, at like the beginning of a stream like this, you know, kind of drumming up the excitement, because it's fucking exciting, man. I mean, you know, I've been in this market for a long time now, as I'm sure many other people have as well. And, you know, you probably started when Bitcoin was like at $1,000, and now it's just for these ridiculous numbers. It's on the moon for me already. So, you know, sometimes I get sort of excited for that, but you know, I don't necessarily need to beat up the drums of FOMO and whatnot. Whereas I think, you know, a lot of YouTubers and everything, like, in order to get views, they got to play the YouTube game, and there's nothing wrong with that, man. I get it, you know, to each their own. But you know, at the end of the day, man, I still do make my main source of income from trading, so I don't necessarily need to do that. Anyways, you're looking at CRO. Okay, so this is crypto.com. I believe we looked at this one yesterday, and it was really, really good if I recall. Let's see where it's at now. I guess we'll go to Trex. We'll go maybe versus Tether on this one. Yeah, really fucking good right there. Wow, powerful. Okay, let's do it. Here we have crypto.com, symbol CRO versus the dollar. Actually, I think we should pull up the same chart that we had from yesterday, which would be where... Hold on, I believe it's actually right here on this Bittrex exchange. There we go. There she is. And this one actually does look like it's, no, it does not look like it's ready to break out just yet. I would be looking at this one as a bit of a local high. Again, long term, I really, really like this chart. One of the better charts that we've seen in the past few weeks here, but kind of similar to the last chart that we just saw. While it is very, very good long term, I would be looking for a bit of a consolidation sideways and down from here. 4 hour is, yeah, it's kind of already selling off of that 41 cent region. So I'd feel comfortable saying that as long as you're closing 4 hour deltas, especially below, let's call it 42 cents and give it a little bit of breathing room. I'd be looking for a bit of a sideways and down move here, perhaps short term down to about 30, 35, 36 cent. That's completely fine. Again, very, very constructive on the long term. I am bullish on this, looking for new all-time highs and beyond, probably over the next couple weeks here, as long as this thing does remain above 32.25 cents. So that would be my validation for something like this. Below there, I do look for a much deeper retracement down to 27 cents and maybe beyond after that, but I don't necessarily think that that's what's going on right here. This one, you know, still looking very, 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 very good long term, and I'm not getting too many concerning signals here for the long term. I am just getting concerning short term signals with daily BBWP getting all the way up to 100 percentile. So it's more likely to trade a bit more sideways here, in my opinion. Contract that, very likely set another higher low, which would be good, and then try for some new highs, of which, if it can break above its current, you know, 42 cent high, especially on a daily, I would be looking for another run somewhere right around 46 cent. Maybe a short-term pullback right there. However, I do not think that things would stop there long-term if you get that initial breakout. Long-term, I'd be looking somewhere around 64 to 75 cents, actually. Now, that is long-term, so we're talking, you know, months down the road. But for right now, let's just see if this is consistent with my short-term look that this one probably corrects a bit more first. Yeah, 4 hour Stokes down as long as it's below about 42.30. Buy hourly is going to be down as long as below 39.80, and hourly is flippy floppy, going to turn up above 37.80. Daily is hard down below 47.5 cents. So yeah, I'd still be looking for a bit of sideways right here, and then very likely try some more upside maybe over the next couple weeks after it trades after it fills out this range a little bit here. Again, long term, very, very good. However, very, very good right there. So hopefully that was helpful. And there you go for CRO. Nice one. What? Yeah, just tell me when it's there. Give me 1 second, and I'll pin it. Yeah, just do you want me to wait for you, or you got it? Okay. Okay, cool. Let me just finish that off. Get some good old Finnish water. By the way, if you didn't know, you have not tasted real water until you've either had Finnish water or actually Oregon. When I lived in Oregon, they had really good water as well. But Finnish water is even better than everything that I've ever tried, ever. It's amazing, actually. Anyways, you probably don't give a fuck about that. Let's go see what other comments we have. Mr. Trickshot says, try to... What? Oh, it's there? Okay, thank you for letting me know. I don't see it yet. Where is it? I think it's still updating right there. Let me just... Okay, why is that taking so long? Okay, I do see it right there. Okay, beautiful. All right, let's pin that. Lovely. All right, excellent. Okay, cool. Try to find me at least one Lexington Steel moment today and play it. It's going to be hard in this market right now, unless we're talking about shorts on the receiving end of these giant girthy green dildos, of which there's going to be plenty, absolutely plenty of the good old steel, man, of the good old steel. Oh no! Oh God, it's bad! It's over for the Bears! No, it's not over for the bears. I mean, obviously, at some point, the market's going to fucking reverse. No shit. You know, things will come down. We can't get too excited here, but enjoy it while it lasts, obviously, because I think that it does have a little bit more time. Anyways, Winning Choice 87 says, hello, sir. Guess more and more people are talking about Litecoin. Can we please have a look at AVAX? Yes, we certainly can. And we should record this one as well, because we did not do this yesterday. AVAX bears, they're not feeling it as well. I mean, this is real bad. Real bad. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Yeah, let's record this one. Oh wow, powerful. It even hit our $100 target. Wow. Here we have Avalanche, symbol AVAX versus the dollar, and I guess we've hit our $100 target. Kind of fucking crazy there, but not bad, I guess. Anyways, this one has already kind of come down to the level that we'd be looking for, or at least that I'd be looking for on a correction here, just around that $85 region. So I am curious to see what the lower term timeframes look like if they are already reconsolidating, and yes, they are. 4 hour is showing some bearish divergence right here. Whoops, right here, if I can actually bring that up. 1-2 drives, not anything too concerning. However, I would be looking for a bit of sideways and down within this short term range. Long term, still very, very good, very much bullish on this one long term, and this one can come all the way down to about 81 and a quarter, and I'd still be bullish on it. So I would invalidate bullishness below 81 and a quarter. Even on a 4 hour closure. As long as you're above there, I'm looking for this one to trade sideways within this range and very likely resolve it to the upside with the next set of targets, I guess, at 110 to 115. That's probably more, a couple more weeks away. But as far as momentum oscillators go, this one's still actually really, really fine right here. I actually wouldn't be too surprised if it does continue even from here, because we don't see any bearish divergence on a daily. We don't really see anything concerning on the daily at all. As far as RSI goes, daily Joule remains with this upside posturing, and daily BBWP is only at 80 percentile right now, which is significant, but I don't look for major highs until we get to 95 to 100 percentile. So long term, I'd feel very confident saying that this one does continue upwards and onwards as long as that invalidation condition is not met. Just short term timeframes do kind of make me think a bit of sideways there. Which is completely fine. I mean, that you do want, bases to be built on your way to the moon, of course, because at some point you will have to come back down. Anyways, yeah, 4 hour Stokes to the downside as long as below $95. Daily is going to be down as long as below 96. 12 hour is also going to be freshly crossing down below 91. I'd go as far as saying if this one does not continue today, we very likely will see this one come down to like the mid to low 80s and try to put in a higher low right there, which would be, in my opinion, good. For the long term. I just think that this one takes a bit of a break because it was one of the first movers and, a very, very powerful chart at that. So hopefully that was helpful. And there you go for Avalanche, sir. Drewified says, applying for new Zer friends position. That's exactly right, my friend. Love it, man. Absolutely love it. Hey, I appreciate that, man. One of the things that I love about this place, even though it has gotten a bit bigger, is that the community does seem to have like retained the quality of it, which is one of the things I was kind of afraid of as this place did start to grow, because I never really expected this thing to get, even much further above like 1,000, let alone 10,000, let alone fucking 100,000, which is just mind blowing. I do want to say, massive thank you to everyone out there. Also, massive thank you for all the likes in this video. We are at ridiculous highs already, and this video is not even within its first hour of being alive. So major thank you on that, man. This community is fucking awesome. You're looking at Cadena, short term. Okay, very cool. Yeah, we can do that one. I think we called a bit of a sideways and in down move yesterday. Let's see if that's still holding. Definitely sideways. However, and I think that we did get the downside move down. I think I'd probably be saying like 11 or 12 bucks on yesterday's downside move. It does look like we got down to 13. Is that close enough in this case? Because short term, it does look like it wants to give another try to the upside. Holy shit. All right, let's record it. Here we have Cadena, symbol KDA versus the dollar. Short-term timeframes are doing about what we spoke about yesterday with a little bit of sideways and down after a phenomenal run. And, long-term, this is still a phenomenally good chart. And short-term, this one even looks like it wants to test a little bit higher, somewhere back around about $20 to $21 or so. However, I would not be looking for this one to continue trend to new highs in this case, as long as you're below 21.90, even on an hourly closure. Above there, yeah, I suppose I am looking for the next trending move to, in this case, new all-time highs. And of course, I would negate this as being a healthy consolidation with even a 4 hour closure below about $15. Long term, I have no reason to hate this chart. This is really, really good. I mean, volume is absolutely insane on this one, especially on the buy side. I mean, yesterday's little sell-off and consolidation is actually getting bought back up extremely fast. Let's see, where would the next areas of interest be to the upside long term? This one's fucking crazy. So, if it does break its basically like 2180 region that we just spoke about earlier, I'd be looking for a short-term continuation to 24 and a quarter. I don't think that things would actually stop there if it did close it daily above that level. I'm looking for low 30s, I guess, mid to low 30s. Technically speaking, I should be looking at 35, but that just seems too generous in my opinion. Could obviously be wrong on that. Seems kind of out there, but fair enough. Anyways, let's go see what momentum also to say right now and see if it's more likely to consolidate or if it's more likely to trend from here. And we can bring up the 4-hour, which will be flipping back up above $20.20. Okay, interesting. 12-hour will also flip back up above $24.75, and daily will also flip back up above $24.50. So I wouldn't be looking for any sort of $35 target, especially as long as you're below 24.5. If you start to close dailies above 24.5 or especially 25, then I suppose I guess I would be looking towards that. But with BBWP at these levels on the daily, I'm a lot more inclined to say that while this one does have some short-term upside, I'd be looking for this one to trade sideways within this range a little bit longer, and then maybe later this month or in December, try for the next upside move. And of course, if it does start to break down below that $15 number, I'm looking for runs at about $12.5 to $13 overall. So hopefully that was helpful. And there you go for Cadena, a very powerful chart, just short-term a little bit sideways, I imagine. Sweet. Bimmer says, can you check out Gala? Okay. Doesn't really ring a bell, but Gala, all right. It's there. It exists. And it's exactly what we thought it was. Yeah, okay, so we did look at this one yesterday. Again, just sideways range, man. Not anything too interesting. Wouldn't get excited about this one as long as you're below about 1130, and I wouldn't necessarily get bearish on it as long as you're above about 760. As long as you're doing that, I guess I would be having a bullish bias on the resolution of this consolidation. The question is more or less when, though. And, again, you have to be thinking in terms of opportunity cost, because there are things right now that are moving, and this one is, I think, at best going sideways. At least for another few days, I imagine. Can I be wrong about that? Absolutely. Again, back above about 1135. I'm looking for this one to trend towards prior highs and probably beyond. But again, a little bit too new of a chart to really do anything more than that. So, and I see that you're from Dubai. Hey, sweet man. I actually we just recently went to Dubai. It's a magical place. It's really, really incredible. I was blown away by it. I now understand why it's thought of as like a luxury travel destination. I even made it the background of my computer screen. You can't see it over here, but it's absolutely gorgeous, man. Interesting culture, definitely very interesting culture. But as far as a city goes, one of the most pretty cities I think I've ever seen in my life. Elsa wants to live there. That was a joke, except every day she says, "I wish I was in Dubai." Yeah, it fucking exactly sounds like a joke to me, huh? Anyways, Ben says, hey, Krown, can you look at XCAD mid to long term? I don't necessarily know what mid to long term means to you, and let's see how much history we have on this thing. We can even do that. Not much. Going back to May, man, there is no such thing as long-term analysis on something that hasn't been around for, a long time. But I think I understand what you're saying in this case. This one did close above the 2.618, so I suppose I am looking for continuation of trend here, and also did it on volume as well. If it does want to correct, I'm looking down towards 7.25, but ultimately I would be looking for continuation from here. Short-term downside moves very likely get bought on up, and even on the 4-hour right here, we're still trending on the 4-hour. 4-hour BBWP is getting way up there, but it can stay up there for some time. I'm looking at the daily right now to get this move, and for the time being, it's actually still under 90 percentile. So I think it's got one more move to the upside, somewhere around $9 to maybe even $10 if things get really, really crazy. Daily RSI tells a story and still, more or less good. Same with daily Jewel. I think it's got one more move to the upside, and then very likely does put in a major high, somewhere between about $9 and $10 in this case. Powerful chart, and I would invalidate short-term bullishness, I should say, below $7.5 in this case, $7.5. Cool. Bullfrog Fire, man, that is a very difficult name to say. Very difficult name to say, but you say, just wanted to send some love. Hey, thank you, man. That's thank you. I'm blushing, man. Thank you. That's awesome, man. Just a nice positive message. Can't fucking hate that, man. Absolutely love it. In fact, absolutely fucking love it, man. And I send the same back to you if I can get my words out properly and not try to stumble and stutter as I feel a little bit. I feel the love, man. I feel the love. Suppressive Fire says Sol USD general overview. Okay, I think this one would be worth recording as we did not do this one yesterday, and I believe it's been consolidating after hitting our 250 target from last week. Yep. Hey, there we go. Not bad on Sol. Okay, here we have Solana. Sol versus the dollar, and it looks like we hit our actually no, it wasn't a 250, it was 2 spots at about 265 target from last week. Now what do we look for? Well, a bit of a sideways consolidation, I suspect. Can come all the way down, not necessarily to this level, but to this level right here at about 233 and still be overall healthy. I look at any sort of price action between this area right here at about 255 and 233 as generally healthy and very likely to lead towards more long-term upside after a bit of short-term sideways. Now, with that said, 4-hour time frame is wow. Okay, I was actually expecting this one to trade a bit more sideways here than not, but 4-hour BBWP being on the floor leads me to believe that this one actually could trend from here. I still would not confirm that until you do start to close 4-hour doodles back above 255. And then I suppose I'm looking for, well, obviously another run at 267, but I guess at that point I'm looking more, you know, I suppose later this month, probably somewhere around $300, maybe a little bit above there. That's, again, this market seems a little bit too generous right now. Like I'm seeing a lot of these targets that we're kind of coming up with, and it almost feels just well, it just feels not right. But hey, respect the market when the market's strong. And again, I have no reason to invalidate you know, short-term, medium-term, or well, sorry, not short-term, but medium-term and higher-term time frame bullishness as long as you're above 233 in this case on a 4-hour closure. Below there, I look for another correction down to about 212, 215 region. Until then, all higher-term time frames actually setting up as well here. 12-hour BBWP on the ground. Daily is not anything too concerning. I guess I'm still looking for this one. Yeah, okay, that's where it's at right now. The weekly is where it's at. Yeah, over the next few weeks, I guess I am looking for this one to continue onwards and upwards. Very, very powerful right there. Incredibly powerful. Just want to see what it looks like over here as well, just out of curiosity, if this kind of agrees. Daily Stokes down as long as below 257, 258, so I don't necessarily think that we're breaking like highs today. 12-hour down below, same area actually, and 4-hour is going to flip back up above 246.5. So if 246.5 gets hit, I suppose I am looking for another retest of the top side of the short-term range. Until then, just sideways within this greater range is completely fine. And does imply long-term health within this asset. Just I would expect it to trade a little more sideways there, to be fair. So, you know, teach their own, and hopefully that was helpful. And there you go for Solana. Sweet one, man. Cool. Fuck Rose says, hey boss, just regular Krown today, no boss. Thanks for videos on weekends. Much info to me. Glad to hear, man. I actually really enjoy those videos because it gives me like a second to dial everything back. While these videos are usually, you know, focused on more short-term timeframes, which I actually really like, the weekends give me a chance to, you know, talk about some more interesting and fun topics in my opinion. Anyways, any predictions on Luna today? Like just for today? I don't know. Go bring it up over here and see what we got. Probably should record this one as or actually yeah, we should record this one. Oh wow, very powerful. Very powerful. Here we have Terra Luna, symbol LUNA versus the dollar, and it's very funny because yesterday we put out a video on this one, and that it very likely makes new highs, and actually got a lot of not so happy comments about that, which is interesting. Anyways, we did get a bullish engulfing dildo close, which does lead me to believe that this breakout is real, and as we said yesterday, and I'm looking for a continuation. We do have a short-term measured move implied target somewhere around about $68 or so. Probably happening over the next week or two. Again, assuming that the invalidation condition is not met, which invalidation would be had on a 4-hour closure below $48. Until that happens, I am looking for this one to trade basically up and onwards from here. I don't really have any major areas for the macro here until we get to actually a little bit above $100, which is kind of crazy. Maybe we can come up with a bit more of a short-term extension and see what the short-term areas of interest are. Okay, we got the 1618 right at that $68 number. And above there, $85 is an area of interest. And then, yeah, then we see the same $100 region. So long term, perhaps over the next month or two, I guess I am looking for $100, assuming that the invalidation condition is not met. And short term, medium term, and higher term timeframes are all kind of trending right now. We go down to the 4-hour right here. Do we see any concerning signatures? We do see some regular bearish divergence come off that last high. Now, with that in mind, I do think that it could have a short-term retracement down to about 51.5 or so. But yeah, I guess long term, I'm still looking at this one is good. Yeah, it probably does come down a little bit more short term, but these are just higher lows in a move on continuation for 12-hour daily and beyond. So good. Let's go see what it looks like over here, just in case. I'm curious to see what the daily looks like, especially. Yeah, daily's up as long as about $54. So I would like to see it close about $54 today in order for it to continue on with the short-term momentum on the daily. 12 hour, same thing, 52 and 14. Actually, we're above there right now. And 4 hour will turn down below 53. Interesting. So if I do start to see those sort of closures happen, I guess I'd be looking for a short-term correction first down to like 51 or so. But be aware of the invalidation condition. And I guess this one's still a long-term setup here, even though that is one hell of a chart. Powerful Luna. There you go. Nice one, man. Legion 22, welcome to the cave, man. Thank you for joining in for 12 months. Holy shit! It's your year. He's just 1 year old. He's just a little baby. Sweet, man. And thank you for being part of this, man. That's awesome. Sven Buckles says, "Good morning, GM." Good morning. Do you know what GM means, sir? It's the Ethereum's way of saying good morning. Sell USD update, please. Still falling. Okay, I know it's good morning. Sell USD update in the short term. Let's see what we got. Do we call a bit of a short-term sideways and downside move on this one yesterday? Because I think that would be the right call. I do think that this one probably is a little bit more downside. Let me just pull it up on this chart over here. Nah, probably more likely to bounce around here at about 2.5 cent. Yeah, I'd be looking for bounces relatively soon on this one. If it does want to have one more leg low, I guess I'm looking towards 2.3 cent in this case. But for right now, not a fan of this price action right here. I just think that it's getting ready for a bit of a bounce. Do not confuse bounce with reversal. There's nothing reversal-ish or good about this, especially as long as you're below about, I think probably yesterday I said about 3.35 cent. I'd actually even lower that today to 3.25 cent essentially. Until then, short term a little bit bouncy. Actually did break my range lows yesterday, so are these the right range lows in this case? Or, well, I guess we did hit the next target to the downside, so fair enough. Yeah, that would have played out anyways. We just move this down and make it more akin or more applicable towards the 4 hour time frame. I'm not liking this price action at all, though, man, to be honest with you. Really wouldn't take too much to get this one down towards 2.3, 2.2 region. Not my favorite chart today, certainly in a sea of mostly good charts, but I do believe, you're probably setting up for a bounce relatively soon. I just don't think that this thing's going to be trending towards new all-time highs anytime soon. I think at best it goes sideways here. At worst, it's going to dump off to like low 2 cent region. So I really don't have too much to add on to it other than that. Still corrective, man. Still very corrective. Bimmer says, could you check out Alice on the 4 hour and daily? Sure. The Alice. This one sounds like it's a very good coin. What do we have here? We have, it's kind of the same chart that no, it's not necessarily the same chart. A very new chart yet again. Not finding too much use on the daily. However, as long as things above 14 and 30 cents, I do look for trend continuation right here. You did break above your prior range highs at $14.50. Good invalidation point, at least in my opinion, for right now. And probably looking for this one to trade sideways and up towards your late August highs over these next couple weeks. Bit of a laggard, or certainly a laggard in this case, but more likely to follow through. Weekly is good for what it's worth. 4 hour, short-term sideways and up. I mean, this one just looks like another higher low to me. Do we see that on 4 hour RSI? No, we do not. So that is a little bit concerning short-term. Maybe on an hourly. Potential, but probably does try a little bit of more short-term downside here. Again, I really don't have any reason to be bearish on this thing, though, on the daily, as long as above, again, what was it, like 14.25, 14.30, something like that. Still looking sideways and up there, just looking for short-term time frame higher lows. Sean R says, loving you and Elio mashed up potato. glad you enjoy, man. Super 4 hour weekly Binancer. Sweet, man. Yes, so this is Elio's coin, and I do believe that we did say this one is on target for $2. Let's see if that has been met now. Yeah, actually it has. Holy shit, man. This thing really did rip. God damn. I really like what's going on here, and I don't think that this one's done just yet either. Yeah, BBWP on the daily is getting up about around 95% health. So it is time to be looking for, for a bit of a local high. I think it's got maybe one more try, just a bit higher at about 2.20, 2.25, and then very likely does try for a bit of a consolidation sideways and down, maybe somewhere between about 180 and $2 or so. It's where I'd be looking for on a higher low structure. But really like this one, man. Really like this setup right here. I imagine we certainly already played out the measure move off of this, but just to confirm, yeah, we're actually right there right now. So maybe one more stab a little bit higher. I do think that this one is getting ready to consolidate sideways and down relatively soon, though. But all time frames are suggesting to me that we have one more try higher. I even see on the 4 hour right here we got some hidden bullish evidence. God damn it. I forgot to make the announcement as well. By the way, Caretaker made an update to his Caretaker's RSI. So if you had version 5, you automatically get version 6. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to email us or anything like that. Just take it off your charts, re-add it, and all good. And there's also a new video in the app as well to kind of explain the new bells and whistles on this one. Anyways, as far as this goes, yeah, hidden bullish evidence right there. And I guess I'd be looking for one more stab to the upside, somewhere around about 220 to 2.25, and then very likely does put in a bit of a local high and work its way downwards, and tries for a higher low. I think perhaps at around 180 or so, but very, very good still long term. I'm not calling like a macro high or anything. Personally speaking, I do think that this one's going to work its way up on the weekly towards $3 over these next few weeks here. Is very, very strong actually. Elliot's going for world domination, man. Elliot's going for world domination. What's up, Malcolm? AXS overview, short, medium, long. Australian here, my first chat, sir. Well, welcome, man, and good to meet you. Laser eyes gets the guys. That's exactly right, man. My laser eyes brings all the boys to the yard. That makes 0 sense, but it sounds right. It's not about what's right or wrong. It's about what feels good. Exactly what he would tell ourselves in these markets. Here we have Axie Infinity, symbol AXS versus the dollar, and this has been one of the bullish charts, the most bullish charts for a long time, and I would still be bullish on it, funnily enough, I guess. Pretty fucking crazy one right here. Let's chart this one out nice and freshly. Actually, do I already have this one out? Oh, yes, I do. Hey, sweet. There we go. So we did have a bit of an ascending triangle base right here. It did actually confirm the breakout already, retesting it right now. Just don't want to see it close anywhere below 143 on a daily or even a 12-hour. If that happens, I would be looking for a bit of a short-term corrective move first, perhaps all the way down to about 130. But as long as that condition is not met, I'm looking for the measure move to get hit somewhere around, what is this number? I think it's like 185. No, sorry, 180 even. 180 even in this case. Long-term, it's literally one of the best charts in cryptocurrency land. Just literally goes straight up and to the right. Hard to hate anything like that. All higher term timeframes are still remaining in uptrends. Pretty much actually all timeframes are in an uptrend bar none. Even the 4 hour right here looks to be like it's going to set in a higher low, and we would have hidden bullish divergence if it does confirm such. Just need to close a 4 hour dildo back above about 150. Well, let's call it 156.5 would do it for me. See what it looks like over here as well. Just to confirm. Hourly will turn up above 152. Okay, so short-term time frames turning up again. 4 hour above 154.75. Okay, very much within striking distance. Daily remains up and hasn't looked down as long as above 149. Yeah, dare I say, Axie Infinity, the strong get stronger. In fact, I think that's going to be the topic of my video today for Elio's channel. Yeah, let's see. So next sort of area of interest, still looking at about $1.80 to $1.82. Long-term, why not just send it to $200, I guess, long-term, perhaps over the next couple months. But, over these next couple weeks here, I'm probably looking for a move towards somewhere around about 180, and then very likely sets in a bit of a local high. Again, assuming that the invalidation condition is not met, but one of the strongest charts for a long time. And, well, the strong do get stronger. So hopefully that was helpful. And there you go for Axie Infinity. What's up, Martin Hunt? Can we take a look at Algo BTC on the daily weekly? Okay. All right. The Algo BTC over here. All right. Algo Rand. And you're saying, my feeling is that based on shifts in fundamentals, it could do well over the macro cycle. I'm looking for where it might bottom out against Bitcoin. Okay, so your thesis is that the fundamentals have changed and that the market actually cares about fundamentals, which I'll introduce you to Shiba and Doggy Coin in that case. And also Ass Token and Titty Comes, or whatever the fuck that shit was called. But fair enough. The best fundamentals right now are simply being in the crypto market, in my opinion. Anyways, let's address the question and take your assumptions at face value. Okay, so basically your question is, where does this thing try to bottom out? Well, if it is going to be bullish in the sense that you think it is, we would expect no lower than basically 2,100 Satoshis. Even coming below 2,300 Satoshis would be very problematic. So if you're actually looking for this one to bottom out, you're probably looking for it to trade a bit more sideways on the weekly, pretty much nowhere under 2,500 Satoshis, especially on a closure, even on a daily closure would make me very concerned with this. Now, to put it bluntly, do I think that that's what's going to happen? I think most altcoins are going to get fucking boo caked versus Bitcoin. Like you're playing with fire, but fair enough. To each their own in this case. I'm trying to pull up a monthly here. I would get phenomenally bearish on this. Phenomenally fucking bearish with any sort of a monthly closure below 2,600. Even a weekly below 2,500 would make me phenomenally bearish on this one, looking for retest of prior all-time lows and probably new all-time lows, because this one isn't a weekly downtrend for right now. I would only get bullish on this thing, confirming this as your next sort of major macro low with a weekly closure. Sorry, not above there, but more like above 4,300 satoshis in this case. Until then, man, let the trend be your friend. But we do have a higher low over here, so it could be a bit of a reversal. I think honestly at best this thing trades sideways here on the daily. I think at best it trades sideways for a while. Anyways, let's see. Chris P says, "Hey Krown, what's up, man? Hope you're well." I am well, even despite just getting like 6 hours of sleep. Somehow I feel oddly okay, which is very concerning. Oh, and I see Nimbo here. I see Caretaker here. Oh man, we got all the mod squad here. This is fucking glorious. Where is Alex? He's probably sleeping right now or doing something else. And I think we also got Mr. Crypto African Warlord here as well. Or maybe we do, maybe we don't. I'm not so sure. I haven't seen him just yet. Let's see. Crispy says, "Hey Krown, could you do XFIN, XDC?" Okay, thank you for including the ticker, by the way. It actually does help because I'm not familiar with this one. Yeah. All the time frames, sir. There's like infinite amount of time frames, just so you know. Not my favorite chart today, man. In a sea of mostly good charts, this thing is in a downtrend, and I think at best it's going to be trading sideways within that downtrend for a while. That being between about 10.70 and as low as about 8.5 cent. To be fair, I should be looking for lower on something like this. It's very unimpressive. It's really not a good sign if your favorite altcoin is not going to the upside right now when everything else and their mother is going to the upside. 4 hours probably going to put in a bit of a short-term upside move here, but again, short-term upside moves do not equate towards long-term upside moves as long as you're below about 1070 or 1080. Even on a daily closure above there, yeah, I'd be calling major macro reversals. You'd probably see this thing rip quite a fair bit over time, but until then, I think at best this one trades sideways here for a while, and at worst this one breaks below 8.5 cent and sends it back down to the depths of hell. That was just a 4 hour daily, barely been populated itself. So if you're talking about all time frames, man, there's really not much to do on something like this that's been around for a little bit too low of a time. You know, when we want to see dailies, we really want to see years of history, man, and weeklies. I mean, 5 years minimum, you know. So hopefully that makes sense. But yeah, not my favorite chart today. But fair enough, you know, cheat throne. Like maybe you're short that thing, or I don't know. I have no idea. What's up, Nimbo? Yeah, man, it's a busy day indeed. Can you look at the shiny rocks? Sure. Yeah, gold on the daily weekly. Can we break 1830? Sure. Okay. Gold. I'm just reading the next comment right there. Kind of funny. 1824. Yeah. Okay. So this one did put in a higher low on the daily right here. Is testing the top side of your daily range as well at about 1829. Do I think it's going to push through here? Yes, I do. Daily does see volatility expansion, and we do see that momentum offsets are pointed northwards, hidden bullish divergence on the daily, and daily jewel is given a somewhat decent signal right there. Not like a super powerful one. The question is, can we actually close above this level or not? If we do, which I imagine over time it very likely will, I'd be looking for this one to work its way up to 1900 plus over the next, I don't know, month or two. This one moves a little bit slower than Bitcoin. Weekly is obviously very good right here. I do think that the weekly is your major low. And if I'm just looking at the weekly, yeah, I do have a bias that this thing works its way up towards 1900. Just who knows how quick or slow that happens. All momentum oscillators are bullish here, especially weekly jewel, in fact. And weekly volatility is expanding as well. So yeah, I'm looking for this one to work its way back up to the prior major range highs. And above there, this thing, you know, very likely goes into long-term macro uptrend again. So, you know, the consolidation I do think is getting more and more mature. It's just how much longer does that take? I don't know. I'll just be going by levels in that case. What's up, Echo ZN? BAT 4 hour and daily. Okay, so this is its extension token. It was also on the winners list earlier today as well. So I expect a good chart, and it is a good chart. Very, very good. Again, we see the same sort of setup on several altcoins, right? And this one's just a little more mature in it than many others. And long term, it actually does hold the lows, and well, fair enough. That's okay. That's pretty good. Got to give credit where credit is due. And in this case right here, daily getting its second pullback after the retest of your prior May highs. While this one can pull back a little bit more towards 110 or so, I don't really have a strong opinion on that. My strong opinion is on that this one very likely will continue onwards and upwards towards the $160. I would only invalidate bullishness on this thing if you do start to see dailies below a dollar, essentially below $1 problem, until that time, I'm looking for this one to give another try to the upside after a bit of a short-term sideways and down move. Short-term time frame is very likely come down, at least to like 114 region. So hopefully that's helpful. And there you go for Batman. Yeah, there we go. Take another sippy sip of this. And Damien, welcome to the cave as well, man. Fucking nice, baby. Fucking nice. It's good. It's real good. What's up, Jack? There he is. There's the man. Ethereum, Bitcoin, daily, weekly. Yeah, let's see how this one's holding up. I believe Bitcoin outpaced Ethereum in the last 24 hours, so this one's probably coming down. Yeah, and I believe we did say a move down to about low 7 million Satoshis was likely yesterday. We're getting that right now. This was your lower high, so that call was correct. I would be looking for a bounce here. Bounce very likely brings it back up somewhere around about 719 or 720 or so, but I do think that you have put in a pretty major high right there. 5-day is not closing today, but if we do get a bearish engulfing dildo on the 5-day, which again, it's not going to happen today, but I think not tomorrow, but the day after that on the daily closure, then I would actually be looking for this one to work its way back down. Long term, I'm still very bullish on this thing though, man. And weekly is still fine, to be fair here as well. I would just be very concerned on this for more continuation down towards 6.6 million Satoshis, Jack. If this thing does start to take out 6.9 million Satoshis, even on a daily, I think. Yeah, on a daily below about 6.9, a little bit below there, I would start to really look for more continuation. Until then, short term, it's bouncy. Yeah, it's very close to a bounce right here. Probably comes back up to like 719 to 720. Long term, obviously, I still love this chart. Just short term, I'm probably looking for some sideways and down, and hopefully see a higher low somewhere around that region between the 21 and 55. That would look really, really good for the long term. Until then, I am looking at this as a major high right there, and I think at best it's going to trade sideways for now, because Bitcoin's kind of taken the spotlight for the time being. That is not to say, however, that Ethereum US dollar variation is not going to do well, in my opinion, very, very well. It's just maybe not going to be as fast as Bitcoin in this case. What's up, Concentrated Quattro? Nice name. Is that the car from Cyberpunk? ICP on the short and medium term. Okay, ICP. I done goofed. Here we go. Haha. Yeah, this one's gonna follow through here. Very, very likely. Internet Computer Protocol. Great name. Just great fucking name. Anyways, it is popping back above your prior range highs on the daily, that being about 53 and some odd change. While I do think that it might, well, let's go down to the short-term timeframes and judge. Could have a pullback down to like 52.5. That's completely fine. More so on the daily, I'm looking for this one to continue back up towards its early September highs. There's no reason for me to invalidate bullishness on this one, as long as you're especially above $51 on a daily close. Until that happens, I'm looking for this one to trade sideways and up all the way back up to your September highs. And it's the same sort of setup that we see across all of these altcoins. So a lot of them are taking out their September highs and going on for some pretty massive runs. I suspect that this one probably does something relatively similar. Just a bit of a laggard play right there. So fair enough. What's up, Googly Lee? Hello, sir. Can we have a look at 2CRZ? Okay, so this is... Oh, I've definitely not ever seen two. Oh, dear Lord. What is this thing going to be? What is this thing going to be, man? What sort of hell of a chart am I going to open up here? Actually, not bad. Actually, not bad at all. It just looks incredibly illiquid. Yeah, this thing is flippy floppy around, but to me, this one's breaking out right here. The volume signature is supportive of that, and I treat it as a breakout as long as you're above 4.3 cent, and probably looking for a retest of your 20th of October highs. Other than that, very new chart. Does have a higher low on the daily. Probably is going to work its way sideways and up from here, but I never feel too confident on coins like this that seem to trade very, very minimally. It trades at 5 cents, and daily volume right now is 2.5 million. So very, 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 very light trading going on right there. Really wouldn't take too much to absolutely obliterate or pump it to the fucking moon and beyond on something like that. Andrew Mo, what's up, man? I love the new avatar you have on it. Hey, man, thank you. Oh, dear Lord. Yo, just wait till I bring out the Crypto outfit. You should make an NFT collection of yourself. I don't know, man. I do appreciate that, though. Look at XCAD. I think we already looked at that one, in fact. XCAD. Yeah, looking still good here. Or, I don't know. Did we look at this one? well, whatever it is, I think I'm still looking between about $9 and $10 on a daily push invalidation on like a 4 hour below. I think it was 7.25. So until then, this one's actually trending on all time frames. Speaking of Crypto, should I shill my exchanges now? Should I do the old? I actually really like Crypto as a person. I've met him in real life. And I've also done videos with him like years ago. He's very nice to be around and a very nice person as well. I only have good things to say about him as a person. Only. Anyways, Ophir Bentov says EFI 1 hour 4 hour, sir. EFI. This thing? Okay, this one's completely new to me. Efinity? Efinity. That sounds like a drug. Up and onwards with it, but look, there's really not much history here, man. This is a 4 hour. It barely has anything. Hourly is, it's trending to the upside, and you lose your uptrend below about $1.80 or so. So I'll just say that. I really don't have anything more to say about something like this. I always like to hesitate on altcoins that really don't have much history, but for what it's worth, the 1 hour and 4 hour are looking like they want some more upside. I think it's best I don't say anything more than that because a little bit too new. Yeah, I actually do see a few people asking about exchanges and whatnot. So if you are asking about exchanges, if you are an American and if you want to do things a legitimate way, I like interactive brokers because it's actually regulated. But they don't do like the fucking 100x leverage. They don't do like the fucking trading competitions and shit like that. If you want something like that, yes, I do have a link to Femex Exchange in the description of this video. And I guess it's a little more relevant if you are like not American, because I don't believe that Americans can really use interactive brokers in that way for Bitcoin trading specifically. Then again, correct me if I'm wrong on that one. I'm not certain. But Femex, they do the whole 100x leverage thing and all that good stuff that I know people love. Also got a bunch of alt trading there too. And yes, they do actually have a deposit bonus, which fair enough. You have to be asking like who's making more out on that. But they are actually offering, I think it was like $1,200 or $1,300. Let me see. It's in the description of my videos. Where is it actually? I'm curious how much are they offering? Where is it? 1,200. Okay, fair enough. And they also reduce your trading fees. So you do that. I guess that does mean more money in your pocket. But, of course, you don't need to use that link in order to register. Just do whatever you want, man. And at the end of the day, I do not suggest leverage trading or even beginning to leverage trade until you, one, have a shit ton of experience under your belt trading like a paper account. And two, you also probably just shouldn't to begin with because, well, most people it's not going to work out too well for, unfortunately. It does take, just like any skill, a lot of effort to actually learn to begin with. And again, you don't need to potentially sacrifice your finances before actually learning how to trade. You can do that with a paper account or a testnet account, which I strongly suggest. Anyways, okay, we got that. Bimmer says mover on KuCoin. Okay, so this is Moon River. All right, on KuCoin. Okay, so we got it right here. Yeah, still ranging, man. I remember we looked at this one last week. Okay, here we have Moon River symbol MOVR versus the dollar on KuCoin. And what do we have? Well, I believe last time we looked at this, we said this one very likely trades sideways. It is long-term good, or at least for the long-term history that we do have, which is not much, but it's okay. This is what is shaping out to be an ascending triangle, so a reaccumulation formation at a very high level, which is generally good, and that would be invalidated. So this one gets invalidated as essentially good on the daily below 365 on a daily closure. Below there, look for this one to correct down, probably somewhere towards 320 to 325 or so. And maybe even low over time. But until that, I'm looking at anything sideways within here as generally good, and any sort of a daily closure or even a 12-hour closure above 440, 440 or 443 if you want to be super exact, is very likely to get the next sort of continuation move. In this case, what do we have? We have a measure move up towards like what, 520? 540. I correct myself. Long term, it looks like it is going to follow through. Short term timeframes are more or less still sideways, and it does look like it wants to test down around about 375 short term, if that means anything to you or not. Just don't want to see it take out the major daily level down there, otherwise problems, and probably falls apart a bit. Just curious if it looks okay over here as well, just to see. And let's see. Okay, that's not a very helpful chart. Let's go to this one. Daily turns back above 468. So yeah, I don't think this one's trending to new all-time highs anytime soon. 12-hour turns back up above $400. Okay, that would look good for another retest of your short-term time frame highs. In fact, I do think that's actually rather likely. And 4-hour will flip back up above 410. So if you start to see 4-hour closures above 410 especially, which I actually do think short-term time frames do come down a little bit more before trying for a bounce, then I would be looking for that to test the top side of your daily range actually at about 440 and some odd change, and then that could set it up for a bigger breakout if that condition is met. Hopefully that's helpful. And there you go for Moon River, sir. Elsa says Moon River has the ugliest crypto logo. That's how she judges things, by the way. Like, I'll ask her about animals and she says, yeah, that's a cute animal. No, I don't like that one. It's ugly. It's like, what the fuck? Do you like horses? Yes, they're cute. Okay, do you like turtles? Okay, what if turtles get very big and scary? Do you like alligators? Why? Exactly. Fucking exactly. You are a racist against looks. Ponchos, or sorry, nope. We'll get to you in a second, Mr. Empire. Trent Norton says HTR, daily and 4 hour. Okay. Hathor, maybe record one on this one as well. Let me see how many videos we got for today. Let's see how much we're gonna just absolutely fucking load up this goddamn internet with. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, maybe not. Maybe not. That's too many already. Very good move here, though. Very, very good move here on Hathor. And I do expect that it will. So typically on a breakout, when you see volume like this, on a breakout above your prior highs, that first pullback, which we saw yesterday, is usually going to be a buy in my experience. And I think that that's what we're seeing right here. And I don't really have any reason to be like, looking at this as a failed breakout, as long as you're especially above about a $1.05, a $1.06 region. Until then, I look at this one very likely short term to trade its way sideways and upside out of here. Can come down to that level, but I just don't want to see a break below there. And I'd generally be looking for this one to retest around your April highs over time. It's good. It's fine here. All momentum oscillators are showing more upside long term. So looking good. What's up, Poncho? AVAX, please, sir, on the 1 to 5 minutes. I'm 100x long from 96.8. Need to pay rent. Hope you're well, my bro. That's rent before Friday as well. I fucking love you, man. Empire is one of the easiest guys to talk to in the Discord. I love it, man. I love it. We got Mr. Chill, both Empire and the Plum Master over there. Ofair says render at RNDR. Okay, RNDR USD. Render token on KuCoin. It's fine here, but I am looking for a pullback after retesting your prior highs. 4 hour time frame. Actually, the 4 hour time frame is probably going to put in some hidden bullish divergence if it can close basically above 222, which is very close to right now. Until then, I do think it would be relevant to say that's probably a little more likely to trade sideways short term. And I wouldn't be looking for new all-time highs as long as you're below about 238, which is not very helpful because that pretty much is your all-time high. I would just say that this one's going to go trending on for a big move above there at about, let's just say 240 on a 4 hour closure. Until then, short term, it actually does look like probably wants to test around that region yet again. See what the hourly says. Yeah, hourly's going to get the same thing right there. All right, well, fair enough. Yeah, Jesus Christ, man. Imagine that, like, just using your time on the internet to go and troll. I mean, just like think about it. Like, do you think that Michael Jordan, you know what he did in his free time? He'd wake up in the morning and he'd say, you know what? I'm gonna go troll Elsa on YouTube. Yeah, that's how we get fucking good. Like, what? Very interesting way to be using your time, Ludmilla, if that even is your real name. It's like, how many times have you changed your name just to do that as well? It's like, okay, interesting way to live your life. I'm not one to judge, but interesting, we'll say. Yeah, short term actually does look like it wants to kind of test back around the region. So I guess I would be open-minded towards continuation sooner rather than later. But until the condition for upside continuation is met, I would be favoring more sideways, to be fair. Long term still good though. Legion says, Sup Krown, it's our 1 year anniversary. My fucking man, sir. Still love the cave. I still love you, sir. Even though you sent Hollywood at Elliot's channel. Yeah, man, it was it's an interesting setup. We'll see how long it goes on for. HCR, we just did that one, sir. All good. Will we get a chance under $1 again before lift off? Okay, so that question specifically, let's see. I mean, short. Under $1, if it comes under $1 again, man, I look at that as a bad thing. No, I think at most it comes down to like 106 or 106 or so, and even then, I look at this first move as this first pullback right here after breaking your prior range highs, usually going to be a buy in my experience before continuation to the upside. I would say if this thing especially came down below $1, even 106 or 107, that's going to be concerning. So I would say, is it possible? Yes. But if that happened, I probably would not, personally speaking, I wouldn't want it, but that's not for me to say. I'm not your dad or your trading advisor. I'm not a financial advisor at all, in fact. What's up, Salmon Crunches? Yeah, we looked at Spell earlier, actually. I don't have anything new to say there. I think it was looking kind of sideways and down, but short-term bouncy, if I recall. And then Poker. Okay. I don't know the ticker for this, so I'm just gonna type it in here. Oh dear Lord, God damn it, man! Why do you have to play around the shitcoin? See, and it's another shitcoin chart. God damn it!
Fuck!
Hey man, I've seen a lot of good charts today. This is not among them. Oh shit, this is the pairing backwards. All right, it's pretty good actually, because it's really this. Fair enough. Okay, I stand corrected. I apologize. I owe you a great apology for making an asshole out of myself. You are 100% correct. This is actually very, very good. Yeah, fair enough. All right. Versus BNB, which is also, I guess, bullish as well. So not bad. I don't have any. Look, man, this thing's been around for just over a month right now. There's no daily or weekly on this thing, man. There's no daily or weekly except for just trend in this case, and obviously it's an uptrend and probably looking for continuation. And you got problems below 2140. But look, man, if it's been around for a month, like you want to be using an hourly, if that, man, if that. Daily, weekly are just not going to apply, man. And I don't recall if you're in the program or not, but if you are, in order to understand this sort of relationship and concept, it would be a good idea to reference the time frame relevancy video. I don't recall if you are or not, though. I think maybe there's someone with a similar name, though. Shane Bausch says, hey, Krown, Super USD on the daily and weekly. Yep, we got that one earlier. Short term, probably looking for one more drive up. Somewhere around like 220 or so, and then very likely looking for a local high there, and then probably tries for a higher low at like 180 or $2 or so. Long term, I like it. Long term on the weekly, I'm looking towards $3, and knowing Elliot, probably beyond, man. So put it like that. What's up, Joseph Clark, new subscriber from Alabama? Well, welcome, sir. Good to meet you. Hopefully I haven't scared you off too much just yet, but fair enough. I understand. It's a difficult place to be in sometimes. Can you check OMG for me? I'm stuck in a long right now. You're never stuck in a position, sir. You can always make a change in trading. And that's the thing with trading, man. You know, you are your own authority and you need to be able to be comfortable with making your own decisions. And you just picked the shittiest chart of the day. Tell him what he's won. He's won a shitcoin police visit plus.
Oh, fuck!
God damn it. Oh shit, I have the inverted chart up. God damn it. Oh, fuck it, I did it again. Motherfucker, I did it again. Sorry, man. I apologize. That was the inverted chart. That was literally the opposite. This is very, very good right here. Very, very good. Again, I profusely apologize for that. That was embarrassing. I had the inverted chart up. That was not correct. This chart is actually very good. This one actually very likely moves back up. I mean, this one looks like it's ready to break out. Probably looking for a move towards 24 and a half, $25 or so. But here's the thing, man. Like, if you do ever feel like you're stuck in a position that, and I'm not trying to be your dad here, but it sounds like you did not have a plan before you got into the position. Look, you know, I don't know what your trading plan is or anything like that, but all trading plans, regardless of what they're based off of, need to have three things. They need to have an entry based off of some sort of source of edge, like it could be technical or fundamental or flows or whatever. It needs to have an exit, and it needs to have a risk management. If based off of your sentence, I'm guessing you don't have like a risk management, and I'm guessing if you're in trouble here, then you could have only bought basically the high, because this thing's just been marching upwards and onwards here. So be aware of that. Look, I'd be very concerned about this thing below 1317. Until then, probably looking for sideways and up here. But it's just a 2017 shitcoin to me, to be honest with you. Just freshly testing its 2017 highs, but you know, it's probably going to join the rest of the market. Everything kind of gets a free ride right now. It seems like just one of those time rounds, but be aware of what I call the invalidation condition or risk management, whatever you want to call it. Below, what was it, 13 and a quarter, big problems. Until then, probably fine. DJ USA, or is the D silent? USA? Uni on the daily and weekly, sure. Uniswap. Looking fine here, man. Weekly, Looks to me like it's setting a higher low. Again, we see the same chart everywhere we kind of look. This one just very much a laggard here, probably looking for a move up to like 30 and a half bucks over the next couple weeks, maybe even this week. Daily is good as well. Daily just setting a slew of higher lows. I just want to see a daily closure above about 27 and 30 cents, and then I'm looking for a retest of 31 and a half. Above there, this thing very likely starts to retest prior highs, but how long does that take? I don't know. And there is obviously problems below $25 if that were to happen. Jason says, Hex on the weekly and daily, sir. Is there any signs of a bullish reversal setting up, or could it really go much lower? Uh-oh. We have rent to pay, and Hex needs to reverse now. No! Okay, now we actually have a shitty chart. Now we actually have a very shitty chart, but you know what? I would not dare incite the hatred and the vitriol from the Hex crew, because they really don't like it when you talk about downside shit on their token. Look, I was bullish on this thing from 2 cents to 50 cents, and I was bearish from 50 cents down to 20 cents. And then we called another continuation down to the 55 here at the beginning, at the end of last week, which was 14 cents. Yeah, I do think it's looking for a bounce here, but okay, what's the question? The question is really, is it looking for a bullish reversal? So reversal means that we're actually going to see the low, like the low will be here. No, I don't think so, man. This one is in a very heavy downtrend. While it very likely does bounce here, this thing can bounce up all the way to like 30 cents or 28 and a half cents. It is heavily bearish and nothing long-term bullish about it, which I suspect is probably what your real question is, because you're probably looking for like new highs and all that good stuff, which, hey, fair enough. You know, free, more power to you. But there's nothing at all whatsoever long-term reversal-ish about this. As long as you are below 33 cents, this thing can bounce up, and probably even will bounce up rather heftily to like, 25 to maybe even as much as 28 cents. But long-term, where you're likely looking towards after this next weekly bounce, which, this could play out over the next month or two. This is going to take some time. Long-term, where's your real support at? Well, you got a little bit here at about 6 cents, but your real support long-term is, I'm not even going to fucking say it, because I know that the Hex crew can be very, 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 very aggressive if you talk about these sort of things. But I'll just point in the general vicinity of it, and I will give you a silent clue. Uh-oh. Don't know what that means. Zazen says, Krown, can you check out Alu versus BNB? Okay. New one for me. Altura. All right. Very bizarre chart here. I don't really have an opinion on something like this. It's way too new. Again, short term. Okay, so we can maybe go to like an hourly. Hourly, I think this one's ranging at best. Short term very likely comes down somewhere around 420 to 425 or so. And I don't look at anything, interesting as long as things below about 555. Until then, sideways within this range is probably best case scenario for the Boolaws, and below the low side of the range. And I'm looking for this one to retrace all the way back down to this prior wick, which is 338, 339 region. Cool. Sushi Yum Yum says OCGN. OCGN. Okay, OC. Is this another one of these damn? What is this thing? Oh, it's a stock. Okay, nice. We have a real stock here. Oh, this is good. Finally, something real. Kidding. Right now, cryptos are a lot more interesting, to be fair. Where are we on this one? Okay. I think I see. Okay, what the actual fuck? Okay, you are getting a lot more close to a bouncy bounce here, but does it have one more leg lower towards like $9 even? Yeah, I do think so. I do think you're going to find your way down to like 9 or 9.10 and try for a bounce somewhere right around there. So maybe just one more drive lower. We're starting to see a bit of bullish evidence fill up on this one, but I really want to see it on like a full hour before I start to look for like the potential low. It's a lot closer to a low than not. I just want to see it come down like a little bit lower, somewhere between 9 and 9.10. And that's what I'd be looking for on higher lows. Higher lows on the daily, that is. So probably just a bit more short-term sideways and down. I would invalidate that and look for, some significant upside back above about 10 and a half bucks, targeting somewhere right around about 13 or so, for what it's worth. Yes. Hey, Ryan Dolan it is. Okay, Ryan Dolan, if we did miss your super chat, the best way to get it in the books again is to repost it in the comment and then tag Elsa with it. And that way we can add it back on, because it must have either got lost in somewhere or whatever. It didn't come through. Could be You know, a lot of things can happen. So thank you. Anyways, Messian says lit entry. Okay, symbol LIT. Great millennial name right there. Lit entry. All right, on Binance, of course it is, and short-term time frames looking actually good here. Probably back up to 5.25. What time frames are you looking? Oh, you're looking medium to long term. Okay, almost has 1 year of history. I mean, look, again, market analysis over individualistic analysis here. I suppose I have to be bullish on this thing as long as it's above 480. It's definitely a laggard, definitely one of the lesser inspiring charts that we've seen today, but I suspect that I would be looking sideways and up from here. We got hidden bullish evidence on the daily. Volatility's low. I have to be bullish on this thing above about 480 or so on a daily. Weekly, yeah, probably pulls through here as well. Back above about 575 is where things get a lot more interesting, and probably looking at moves back up towards, you know, $8-10 or so long term. That is. Yeah, take another sippy sip of this, man. There we go. All right, sweet. Let's see. Gordon Finch says, hey, man, all good. You know, I mean, look, man, again, this channel, like, while I'm glad that it helps other people and that is, you know, very fulfilling, you also have to understand it is a selfish endeavor. Like, selfish altruism is the way that I look at everything. It's like, it has to, one, be altruistic so that it can help other people, but also help yourself as well, because that is the way that a rising tide can lift all ships, and that it's maintainable over time, man. And, you know, if I didn't have this fucking channel to do, man, I'd just be bored every day. Because that's what was happening before this channel, man. It's just boredom, man. Just boredom. You've inspired me to invest in myself and in lit passion trade inside me to learn and trading in TA. Well, sweet, man. I apologize in advance because it's a very long and difficult process, or at least it was for myself. So, you know, understand, definitely don't quit your day job until you have like a good amount of history of being successful in trading. And definitely do not count that success in a bull run because right now it's, well, anyway, I think these are like some of the easiest times right now for what it's worth. Greg Ustler, but it is cool. I also want to be encouraging. Because like, obviously, you know, if I'm not encouraging, like, then how can I say that with a straight face when that's exactly what I did myself? So, cool, man. You know, just be aware of what you're getting into, because it can, can definitely change your life in good ways and bad. Greg says, hey, can you have a look at ENJ? Cheers. Sure, but no time frames given, so we'll just go with the daily, I guess. Short term, or let's actually go with 4 hour. Short term, probably looking for maybe one drive lower towards $3, but I do remain long term looking at this as good above $3. So as long as you don't close a 4 hour below $3, I do look for this one to trade sideways and up outside of this range with, I guess, new all-time highs implied on this one, or at least a test towards your prior all-time highs at $4. Below $3 on a 4 hour closure, I do look for a short-term correction down to about 265 to 266, something like that. What's up, Eternal? Hey, Dr. Krown. Hello, sir. Can you check out Matic USD daily weekly? Sure. Matic. We're already hour 40 minutes into this, so man, these comments are getting longer and longer. God damn. Matic still really like this one above 175. It looks like we actually tested there yesterday. That's completely fine. Just don't want to see closures below there, and that is not what we did, so all good. 4 hour time frame, what are we seeing right here? Short term actually does look like wants to test the downside yet again, to be fair. Again, I just have the same things to say here. Hey, that's weird. We do not say that test down on the daily, on the 4 hour that we saw in the daily over here. I do think that this one will test down towards about 180 or so short term. I am long term bullish on it though, above 175. So that's kind of the relationship between those time frames right there. Long term, I'm still looking towards $2.5 and $3, maybe over the next month or two. Long term, it's a very good one, at least in my opinion, for the time being, even that the invalidation does not get hit, which so far so good. Sweet. What's up, Marvelous? Is that right? Just found your channel a week ago and really love the content. Sweet, man. No questions, just kudos. Thank you. Kudos, sir. That's actually how you say thank you in Finnish. So really appreciate that, man. I'm really happy to hear that, and awesome, man. Thank you, and welcome to the community. Big Bully and Dilio. What? You're a bully? Oh man. Can you check out KLV? Looking to see if there's any hope left. Okay. I'm guessing this is a crypto. It's called Clever. All right. Okay. Is there any hope left? I mean, look, this chart is definitely a laggard. It's definitely relatively weak. It's definitely not the one that you want to be in when the rest of the market is moving on to new all-time highs and beyond. However, is it likely to, bounce up here and continue on with a little bit of short-term upside? Yeah, I do think so. 4.5 cent, very, very likely again. Any sort of a daily closure above 4.5 cent, and I'm looking for this one to probably retest around just above 5 cent. But you could be trading this chart, and again, this falls into the concept of the weak get weaker. In fact, I need to write this down because. Yeah, I need to write this down because this would be a great example for the video that I want to record later today. Yeah. This thing is so far away from creating an uptrend that it's just like, is there any hope left? Like, define hope, right? Define hope in the sense that it's going to have some upside. Yes, very likely does. Is it going to, green dildo its way back up to the heavens? Well, it wouldn't be my first pick. And when you're thinking in terms of opportunity cost, this one does not have a good one, in my opinion. But yeah, if I did have call right now, probably going to work its way up towards, 5 cent and beyond. I would be phenomenally bearish on this thing, below about 4 cents, however. Phenomenally bearish. Mr. Azul says GVSI stock. Oh, nice. Thank you for thank you for specifying there too. Haven't gotten any Forex requests anytime recently. I actually really like looking at that. GVSI, it's trades OTC. Okay, that explains all these wicks over here. This is why I avoid OTC pieces of shit, because of that, stuff like this. And oh my god, oh dear lord, yeah, this is a very interesting chart. But look, for what it's worth, right here, this is good. How much longer does it stay within this range? I don't know. I do think that you're getting very close to resolution. I think at most this one, stays within this range until like late December. But any sort of a break on a daily closure above about 4.5 cent, and I'm looking for this one to probably come back up towards, I guess, your December or November 2014 highs, somewhere around there, about 9.5 cent or so. But well, fair enough. Hopefully that was helpful. Good vibration shoes. So are those like the fingered shoes? Man, those things really should be sold. Just kidding. Sean Odisio says, dude, your trading program is invaluable. I'm happy to hear that, man. I'm very happy to hear that. But if you're finding value in it, it's telling more about you than it is about me or my own program, actually, because the information is the information, right? And several people will go through it, but if they don't like really put the effort in and apply it, it's not going to be that valuable. So it sounds like you actually are doing that, which, hey man, congratulations. You're putting in the work that I think many people do not want to do. Which fair enough, most people have a life, and well, I don't, and it sounds like you don't either. So you came to the right place. Would I be correct in identifying that the current daily Matic pattern is a bull flag triangle? It's an ascending triangle, if I recall properly. Bull flags are typically channels, although people do use them in kind of different ways. In this case, I would say, especially on like a short-term time frame like this, actually, no, it's not an ascending triangle. It is a bullish consolidation. Again, as long as it does remain above about 175. Does it have a name for this one? Technically not. There's not really anything going on here. So to be clear, like an ascending triangle should look something like this, and then there would be like a side right here as well. And it's just basically an uptrend. I mean, you're just getting higher lows. That's why it's important. A channel is going to be more like this. And why is that important? Well, it's essentially shaking out the sellers, and then once you pop above your top side of the channel, you're basically in the process of reversing the trend. So that's why those sort of formations tend to work out. It's actually very logical, and it always boils down to trend. But in this case right here, it's just kind of, if anything, it's just sloppy. And I mean, if anything, I mean, you got a slight higher low right there, so maybe it's something like this, and that's, your ascending triangle, whatever it is. You don't really need to know the name, and that's really one of the main things of the program that I want to get out there. Is like, look, of course it's good to know the names and everything, but you don't need to know the names in order to trade them properly. It always comes down to supporting resistance and trend, basically. Cool. What's up, Mr. Legend LEZs? Oh man, bought AMD calls at 100, sold at 150. Oh my god. Moving out of Scott's mom's basement. Love it, baby. Can do a plastic surgery and run for governor of Cali just like Jenner, but I need financial advice on Ford daily, weekly. Let's see what sort of non-financial advice we have on this one. Yeah, this one's a breakout too, man. Damn, you really have your eyes on the ones that are likely to break out. And I was probably saying and I believe I was saying over here that while this does look good long term, I would be skeptical that it breaks out right now. I'm gonna be wrong on that. This one's breaking out right fucking now. Long term, I'm looking for a move towards $33. Now, when I say long term, this is a monthly. How long does that take? I don't fucking know, man. But hidden bullish evidence coming into the breakout. Jewel is actually not even falling through as well, and volatility is very fucking high. Daily, yeah, daily, the breakout is real. This one's continuation right now, so I have no reason to invalidate that, especially as long as you're above about 16 and a half bucks. Very good long term. Very, very good. Let me see. Noah Culp says PLS, if the chart deserves PLS, sir. Send shitcoin police in full effect with no mercy. Is this a crypto? If it is, it's not on TradingView. Unless it fits this. No, it's also not on TradingView. Unless it fits this on ASX. Pilbara Minerals. I don't know. You didn't specify, so I'm gonna guess it's maybe this. For some reason, I have this one already charted out. This one's actually very good. I don't know why you'd be calling the shitcoin police on this thing. If you're talking about PLS like Pulse, I don't think that there's a chart for it because it's also not out. Maybe. I don't know. I don't really keep up with the news there. Even though I did actually sacrifice for it, which is kind of funny. Can always use that against the hexers if they come after me. It's like, hey, I'm in the same fucking boat as you. I'm just bearish on this very highly esteemed piece of technology. Long term, of course, probably going to bounce relatively soon. This would be good, man. I'd be looking for big breakouts above about $2.50, targeting moves towards 267, 280. I only invalidate that below about 2.25 or 227, and I'd be looking for a corrective move down somewhere around about 215 or so. But long term looks decent to me. Chris P says, hello, Krown. XDC. Man, we've looked at this one like 3 times now. XDC US derp. Yeah, XFIN. Yeah, at best going sideways here. Big problems below 8.5 cent and looks really, really good above 1070 cent. Well, I wouldn't say really, really good, but it looks like it has some decent upside above 1070 all the way up to like 13 cents or so. Short term, very likely trying some upside here. I'd be looking for a move towards 9.5, maybe even 10. Let's see. Rapture says, "Hey Krown, I hope you're having a great day." I am, man. It's fun. It's a fun day, and thank you for being a part of that, man. Thank for everyone being a part of that right now in this community, in this stream. And I see that we're just over 1,000 likes as well. That is insane. Holy fucking moly, baby! It's a good day. It is a good day indeed. Can you please check out TLM on Binance? Okay. 1 in 4. Okay. TLM USD. This is Alien Worlds. All right. 4 hour, looking good. It's not broken out just yet, but it is remaining within its good posturing here. That is a good signal, obviously. I would not call a breakout as long as below about 30 and a quarter cent right there. At that point, I'd be looking for this one to, have some decent follow through and everything. Until then, short term, does it actually look like it might come down towards 27, what is this? 27, 28 cents, possibly yes. As long as you're above there though, long term, I kind of favor the upside resolution of this. Very short term time frames like an hourly. Yeah, short term looking for a little bit of downside here. Short term a bit more corrective, kind of similar to Bitcoin. It's like long term, okay. Just short term, probably some pullbacks. Cool. Martin Hunt says, can we look at AVAX BTC daily weekly? No, we looked at algo for you. Okay, sure. All right. I know you've covered it yesterday, but looking specifically for invalidation points, much love, many thanks. I don't know what your trading strategy is, man. I don't know what invalidation point for you would be. I'd be saying that there's big problems below about 12,200 Satoshis on a weekly, same thing. Until then, one's actually pretty long-term good. That's all I have to say about that, though. Andrew Lee says, hey man, thank you. Can you look at Atom for the daily and weekly? Yes. Atom Cosmos. Let's see. Yeah, very, very good right here. Oh my God, this setup is very, very primed. I think it could maybe come down and test around 34 bucks again, but I'm bullish on this thing as long as you're above 34 bucks on a daily closure. BBWP's on the ground. Daily RSI is about to give another drive of hidden bullish divergence with confirmation of a local low here, which will be confirmed above about 38.5 bucks. I really like the setup long term. 4 hours looking like it wants to try some short term upside towards 38.5. Looks good, man. Looks very good. Let's see. Elsa Abusive Cave. How dare you? No respect. What's up, Flavio? Back for more block. 12-hour resetting, higher low. Okay, let's see. I remember this one was super new, so I don't know about a 12-hour on this thing. It's okay. No, this is not really. It's not really a nothing, man. That's a Jesus toast in my opinion. Short term, I'm looking for this one to come back down towards 7.5 cent. No, this is not a higher low right here. Hourly. I wouldn't even be like that optimistic about this thing as long as they're especially below about, especially like 10 cents or 9.85 or so. above there, yeah, probably rallies back up to your 12 to 13 cent regions, and that starts to look a lot better. But for right now, is this a higher low on the 12-hour? No, not yet. Higher low on the 12-hour would be confirmed above that basically like 9 cent region, and then yeah, I'd be looking for this one to work its way sideways and up. But there's not contracting volatility on the 12-hour. It's too new to judge it from that from that facet. You'd want to be using like the hourly or the 4-hour at most. Even the 4-hour doesn't make sense. Like, look, if you see something like this, this is unusable. It's not relevant. And if anything, the 4-hour does have some hidden bearish evidence right there. So I'd probably be looking, if anything, for another move towards the 7.5 cent region. Hope that doesn't break. Yeah, I would call a reversal above 10 cents, but I would agree with your assessment. It's just well, if I had to call it, I don't think that that's what's happening right here, at least not right now. But that's not necessarily a question. I would agree with your assessment. Yes, 100%. Cool. What's up, Pisa? Welcome. And what is what is that country? I have no idea. It means P in Finnish. Interesting. Weefa says, hey, Krown Arena, how are the eyes? They're actually good, man. I'm just wearing some gamer goggles right now, so I don't get the blue lights. Can you look at VET on the 4-hour, 12-hour, and daily? Sure. Yes, this one's always fun, actually. Wow, powerful. Very powerful. Here we have VeChain, symbol VET versus the dollar, and I want to follow up on this one from the last few days because we've been bullish on this one, and I suspect our next target of about 19.5 cents is about to be met. Now, we do have a technical target actually pointed much higher, but I would be looking for a short-term pullback around that 19.5 cent region. It's very good. It's very, very good. 4 hours still trending, still very, 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 very nice. 4-hour BBWP is getting up there. I think that it probably hits 100 percentile alongside a test of that 19.5 cent region, or maybe even 20 cents region, and then very likely pulls back a bit. But volume pouring in on this, lovely uptrend, and I am looking at this as a confirmed long-term breakout. So while the short-term timeframes might pull back around that region, daily is looking for continuation long-term. This is extremely good right there. Daily RSI healthy, daily Joule very healthy. Long-term probably looking towards basically your prior highs at 24 cents, and many things in this market are actually moving past that right now. Weekly very, very good here as well. So long term, maybe months down the road we probably do see some new highs, but yeah, very good. No reason to, at least in my opinion, be bearish on this thing, especially as long as you're above 15 cents or 15.5 cents actually right now. It's good. Very nice. Cool. Mr. Townsco says, happy all-time day, Krown. Hey, happy all-time high day to you as well, and everyone else here. Cardano, USD, 4-hour and daily. Oop, I'm also recording. My bad. All right, there we go. We don't want to record Cardurpio. Cardurpio is actually reversing right here. So it did complete the bear trap. Hey, not bad. All right, we'll record this piece of shit. I mean, this very lovely Charles Hoskinson thingy. We have Cardurpio, symbol ADA versus the dollar, and yesterday we did say that a bear trap was building, and now it has been confirmed. It does look like, technically not fully confirmed, but this is looking really, really good here. This is what a bear trap should be looking like. And I believe our targets off of the first closure above, 217, very likely does beget continuation towards, in this case, I'm looking somewhere around about 240 or so. Above 240, things start to look really, really good for the higher term timeframes, and for what it's worth right now, we see volatility expanding. We see daily Joule with a long signal actually going back to November 3rd, and daily RSI is in a bullish posture, rejecting the bearish control zone right there. So I do think that this one is just about going to complete that bear trap and head onwards and upwards and join the rest of the market. Daily momentum's up as long as above $2, looking good. Weekly going to freshly cross up above 250. So probably not looking for the macro breakout just yet. And 5-day will turn up above 230. I do think this one's going to fall through, man. It's very likely to work its way up towards 260 and beyond. This just looks like another macro higher low right there. Good. Hopefully that's helpful. And there you go for Cardurpio. 10 minutes left. All right. Yeah, let me load up on some more water. Yeah, still a lot left, man. Holy shit. Yeah, I'd probably even stop just sending in chats right now, if anything. Okay, cool. Mr. D says, what's up, Krown? Entry algo USD at 199 4-hour daily. Okay. Let's see what that looks like. So you basically entered at $2. Where are we at right now? Okay, so you entered on resistance. Fair enough. It's not well, teach their own, right? Yeah, it's probably looking good here, man. There's no reason to be bearish on this thing above about 185, and I just want to see a move above yesterday's higher, especially a close above about 209. And yeah, I'd be looking for this one to, I guess, measure move is much higher. Actually, much higher. It's a good chart. Very constructive over the long term. Just taking its time there. It looks like it's just about ready. What's up, Damien? Welcome to the cave as well. Welcome, sir. Pisa wants to look at XRP BTC. Oh, you done did it now, sir. You done did it now. XRP BTC. Wow. Terrible. Just terrible. Oh god, it is awful. It is truly awful. There is nothing long-term bullish about this thing at all whatsoever as long as you're above 3,100 satoshis, and it is almost a 2x, or it's like a, let me just see, how far away is it from there? 85% move away from there. So long-term, I'm phenomenally bearish on this thing as long as you're below there. I don't know what time frames you're looking at though, because you just said, can you please do XRP? Daily's bearish, looking for another move down to 1,700. This is just garbage. Just garbage right here. Where would I start to get like even short term looking at this one as okay? Back above about 2150. Back above 2150, I would look for this one to retest at about almost 3,000 satoshis, and then above, what was it? 3,300 satoshis. I would actually get really, really bullish on this one, looking for big bad moves. But you know, this one kind of pumps and dumps out of nowhere a lot of the time, shit like this. So I don't really trust it too much. But for what it's worth, if I'm just looking at the higher term time frames, they are atrocious, man. But again, this one does tend to pump and dump out of nowhere, or more or less pump out of nowhere and then dump consistently, from my experience. Anyways, again, I'm talking about a chart here, not you as a person. So hopefully that's not taken personally. Christian Prichard says, got a trash McGarbage coin for you, sir. Oh dear lord. Spark Point SRK. Asking for a weekly. Hopefully there is a weekly. Otherwise, I might lose my damn minds. God damn it. It is pretty bad. There's not really a weekly to look at here, though. I would get phenomenally bearish on this thing below about 5.5 cents, however. Below 5.5 cents, this thing's coming back down to the prior lows and probably beyond. Until then, it probably actually does put in a higher low here, to be fair. I don't think it's actually going to do that. Probably works way sideways and up, but I do agree. It's very much a laggard, very weak long term. Relatively speaking, that is. Sivask. Hopefully I'm doing that right, man. Sorry. Thoughts on Elon recent pullback? Oh, you're playing in the shitcoin fucking drawer, man. You don't need to do this, man. You don't need to do it. Thoughts on the pullback? Look, man, this thing doesn't really have any business trading at these highs anyways, but yeah, I do think it's going to pull back a little bit more. 1,400 or so is where I'd be looking towards. Short term, probably tries for a bounce off of 1,700. I don't know what time frames you're trading here or what you're looking at, because you did not include any of them. Looking for a jump to +2 in the next little hole. So you're trading very short-term timeframes. Then I do think that's possible, but it doesn't really mean anything as far as the chart goes here. This one starts to look really good for new all-time highs above about what was yesterday's high, of about 22.25, and this one looks absolutely god awful below about 1,200. Until then, I just think short-term down after, or very very short-term bouncy, but medium-term back down a little bit. To be fair, I mean, I should be bullish on this chart right here. It's just, it is a meme coin, and this thing really doesn't have any business being traded. So I'm always very skeptical of things like this. Again, just personal opinion. Maybe you agree with that, maybe you don't. But yeah, short term probably does bounce here, like on the hourly. However, the 4 very likely does come a little bit lower. Damien says Polkadot for hour and daily. I like how you spelled it out too. Getting slammed with the YouTube censorship filters. Oh, beautiful. Yeah, that's beautiful. YouTube somehow finds their time to censor your comments, which seem very harmless, and they don't seem to catch the obvious shills and scammers in the comment section. How does that work, man? How does that work? Interesting stuff. Anyways, DOT, one of the best charts in the cryptocurrency line, man. Very, very good. Very, very powerful. Broke out last week, which we identified a couple weeks prior as that condition was met, and I'm looking for this one to work its way up. I guess we already kind of hit the $57 target. So do we pull back here? No, this one's already reconsolidating. I have nothing bearish to say about this, as long as you're above 45.5, especially. Even short-term timeframes are remaining in their higher low posturing. I do think there's a short-term threat of maybe coming down to about $51, but that's completely fine. That's still just another higher low. Long-term, I'm probably looking towards, I guess, $68. So that could be, a couple months down the road or a few weeks down the road, but it is good long-term. Raj Nali says, Chili's, please, sir. Okay. Again, no time frames given. So where do I go with this? I don't know. Good. Again, good formation right here, as long as you're above 44.5 cents. But I wouldn't get too excited as long as you're below about 53. Above there, probably looking at a retest of your May highs. Same chart that we see across the land. This one's, par for the course. Pretty good. Welcome to the cave as well, Mr. Whiskey. Or I think that's what your name is. Cool avatar, by the way. Is that a panda? Is that a panda? Harmony 1 says Theodore Herrera. Sure. Okay, so symbol 1. All right. Let's see. Again, another pretty damn good chart, similar to like all of the last few ones that we actually looked at. What time frames are you looking at? Oh, no time frames, motherfucking given. What do I do with this, man? I don't know. Look, very good, very, very good. Sorry, all jokes aside, man. You're just asking a question. That's all, man. I'm projecting my own inefficiencies as a person onto this, but below 28 cents, bad. Probably coming down to 24 cents. Do I think that that's what's happening? No. I just want to see a break above about 34 and a quarter, and I'm looking for this one to, trying a new all-time highs. I mean, this one's very, very healthy on the weekly. Very fucking good on the weekly. Very fucking good on the daily as well. Volatility set to expand. Is this one right here? I just want to see it close above that region. Then, yeah, looking for big bad moves to the upside, and there would be an implied target actually as well. Let's see. Somewhere around about, like 40, shallow 40 cents region or so on that break. Michael Brown says seller thoughts for next couple weeks. Okay, so I think that means you want to look at like a weekly, perhaps. it's one way of asking it. Or we got rent to pay, baby. I think it is putting a bit of a higher low here on the weekly, and this one is a very good long-term chart. Is this Shelby's one? Shelly, you here? The second that it takes out last week's high at about 13 cents, I'm looking for this one to work its way back up towards basically 16.5 to 17 cents after that, and probably continues on with the general rally. It's very good here. I just don't know what time frames you're going off of, and I don't really have any reason to be bearish on this thing as long as you're above 10 cents especially. Hisa says, yep, we got XRP BTC. Got it. What's up, Frederick? Have been here almost daily for a little more than a year now. Well, shit, man. Awesome. Thanks for the love and mindset. Man, my pleasure. And hey, man, it's all good. It's all good, man. Like I said, it's a selfish endeavor, but it's selfish altruism. That's the way, man. And you as well, man. And you as well. That's awesome, man. Super awesome. Bimmer says, wax P on Coin. Wax P. Okay. All right. So this is a new one. No time frames given yet again. What do I do with this thing? I don't know. Daily. I guess I'm bullish on this thing as long as you're above about 39 cents, but does it continue on from here or not? That I do not have a strong opinion on. I'd actually be going off of ranges on this one, so I'm going to take the bullshit answer, but above 54.5 cents, yeah, I'd be looking for new all-time highs on this thing. Until then, I do think that this one is trading a bit more sideways. Here as it kind of works off these conditions. Then again, hold on, I'm going to be wrong about that. It does have some short-term hidden bullish evidence, and we do see 4-hour Julius given a little bit of a short-term signal here. So maybe it does test that 54.5 cent region. Just want to see it close above there, and then I'd actually send these targets towards, I guess, new all-time highs in this case, but not really much to go off of here. Below 44 cents problems, looking for big corrections down after that if that were to happen. Do you have a cat? I don't, man. I actually like cats though. They're super chill. Like it's kind of nice because you don't really need to do anything with them, and they just kind of exist. And what's the point? Says also, well, dogs, for example, require a lot of attention and they're very needy, which is annoying. No, it's not. Only if they're cute, huh? Elsa's lucky because she has these like 2 little cute dogs, but man, if they weren't cute, oh man, if dogs weren't cute, they'd be getting shot out in the streets. I'll tell you that.
How bad you?
CRV banned and canceled. CRV USD. Look, if dogs weren't cute, I'm just saying, you're getting shot in the fucking streets. 4-hour daily. Daily good, man. Very, very good as long as you're above 413. Probably looking for a short-term continuation back up to $5. 4-hour, same thing. Put in a nice little constructive higher low right here. Bullish as long as you're above 440 on a 4-hour. Below 440, I'm looking for a correction down about $4 even or so. And then obviously that would make the daily not look so hot, but for right now, one's already at all-time highs basically. So suppose on a break of your current highs, guess I'd be looking towards 630 if that were to happen. Oh, Andrew 7 and 7. I didn't want to do it, but we have to check out the Litecoin, sir. Litecoin USD, short to medium term, 4-hour daily. Got it. Thank you for including timeframes as well, man. It is rather helpful. Cool. See, daily right here. Good. I mean, it is breaking above its prior range highs. There's nothing bad about that. Looking for general continuation towards 290 to $300 on the daily. So that would be, maybe for the next couple of weeks here. 4-hour trending as well. Short-term pullbacks anywhere to 330 or sorry 230 completely fine. I don't have an opinion on whether it's going to do that or not. It is already pretty hot here on 4-hour RSI and Joule and BBWP, so probably does put in a little bit of a short-term retracement somewhat soon, but daily's continuation. Generally good. I mean, again, same sort of formation that we see right here. So breaking above those accumulation highs is a good sign. As much as I want to hate on charts and everything, you know, got to be consistent with it, of course, as well. What's up, Mantis? Welcome to the cave as well, man. Cool. So, okay, Ryan finally figured it out. Nice. You're looking at ORN BTC. Okay. ORN BTC. Okay. And you're looking at a 4-hour daily weekly. All right. Let's see. Do we have the history here? It's okay. It's okay for the historia of this. You know, is this one putting in a low right here or not? That's a real question. Obviously, long term, it's downtrending, and you know, getting past about 1850 going to be very difficult. Short term, good. Short term, looking for moves up towards 1450 or sorry, 1500 satoshis, 1490 to 1500 or so. Closing 4-hour deltas above there would very likely imply targets significantly higher up towards 1850 or so. That's at the point where if I that's at the point where I actually would be looking for potentially lower highs if this one does continue on with the macro downtrend. I'll tell you where I'd get very bullish on this thing. A weekly closure above 2150 would look really, really good long term, but long ways to go before that. So probably not worth talking about just yet. What's up, T-Kaz? Top of the morning to you as well, man. Definitely Irish. Nice. My mom is Irish, I believe. 1 inch, 1 hour, 4-hour daily. Overview looks ready to go. When pop, when move. Okay. 1 inch. Sweet. I guess. Oh no, that's an up contract. Jesus, doing fucking up contract. Yeah, we did Ryan's just now. Cool. Okay, so you're looking at 1 foreign day. Maybe get off the weekly then. Yeah, I agree. BBWP is low right here. However, it can stay low for a little bit more time, and I do think that this one does have a little more sideways to go through. In sideways between about what is this, 5.25 and what is this area right here? About $4 on the downside. As long as it's kind of oscillating between there, that is generally going to be long-term good. 4-hour, kind of difficult right here. 4-hour, I don't have an opinion on the 4-hour. If anything, I probably would be looking for another retest of like 470, and above 470, then I'd be looking for the move towards 5.25. And then, of course, if you close a daily above there, then it starts to look pretty damn good. I think, and you're looking at an hourly as well. Yeah, hourly looks okay right here. I'm looking for short-term up, and then kind of judge it by ranges after that. But, you know, long term, I mean, this hard chart to hate, just sloppy. I mean, it's an altcoin after all, so they tend to operate like that. But, you know, if I had to call right now, does it work its way back towards $5.5 over the next few weeks? Probably yes. Probably yes. Sweet. Okay. Eduardo Castillo says, hey, Krown, new to the channel. Well, welcome, man, and good to meet you. Beloved, sweet. Glad to hear it, man. You've survived the early morning craziness, so that means that, well, we got another one, sir. One of us. AKT. Okay, sweet. Is a cash? A cash. A cash. Is this a coin cash? Is this a coin? Oh, dear Lord. What the fuck, man? Wow, this thing is floaty and flighty. Wow. Dear Lord, man. And welcome, Mr. Zen Bull Trading. Pleasure to have you here. Okay, I don't know what time frames you're looking at, and I'm always very skeptical when I see, you know, this sort of stuff. But again, within the context of this market, it's very difficult to be like full on bearish on anything. And I'm inclined to say the same thing on this thing as well. As long as you're above 250, I do think that you're putting in a bit of a bottoming formation right here. This thing would look a lot better, however, and imply targets back up to like almost $4 above 320 on a daily closure. Until then, I mean, man, that is ugly. Short term, just a bit of sideways and up here. Would like some higher lows at around 280. I only get bearish on this thing, I guess, below about 250. Until then, probably putting in a low. Just I'm going off of market analysis rather than individualistic analysis. Scott Soul, we already looked at Litecoin USD, so we'll look at Litecoin Bitcoin, which I happen to know is absolutely atrocious because I looked at it yesterday. But short term, good. We actually even did say yesterday that I was going to balance short term, and this one can pump and dump from this region too. This one could pop up quite a fair bit from here. 41.75 on the weekly is not out of reach, and we do have some bullish evidence, or do we? Yeah, we should have some bullish evidence on the weekly here. So yeah, I probably would extend those targets, but I remain long-term extremely bearish on this thing as long as you're closing weeklies below 5,200. If you're looking at a 4-hour continuation from here, I only invalidate short-term bullishness below 3,400 satoshis. Until then, short-term looking for continuation towards 3,800 satoshis or so, somewhere around there is fine. daily. Yeah, I do think it continues on a little bit more from here. Probably 39 to 4,000 over the next week or so. And then, well, yeah, you are kind of in your pump and dump area right here. And Mr. D, welcome to the cave as well, man. I thought that you were already in the cave. Maybe you were. Maybe you weren't. Who knows? And Mr. Udall, my fucking man, sir. My fucking man. All right, fellas, we've reached the end of the stream. We are over 2 hours now consistently, which is insane. I need to shorten these streams, if anything, not make them longer. But I do appreciate, and I should be respectful, I should be appreciative and respectful of just the fact that anyone even wants to be here to begin with, which is cool. Thank you for joining in. Again, Bitcoin, just short-term kind of recap here. Long-term, very, very good. Short-term, does it pull back down anywhere around $67,000 or even as low as 66? Completely fine. I don't have a major opinion on that. I do think it probably will test around 67 to be fair. But all other higher-term timeframes are bullish for the long term, and I'd be keeping a keen eye on the daily right here. Any sort of a closure above, especially 67,000, would imply continuation over the next week or two. In this case, we're already at new all-time highs, so probably new all-time highs after that with the targeted regions in mind, somewhere around, if I had to pull it up over here. Oh, I guess I don't even have it for this particular one, but let's just pull it right here then. Probably somewhere around about 71 to 72,000 bucks. Perhaps over the next couple of weeks here. So looking good, and don't really have any reason to invalidate even short-term bullishness on, well, not short-term, but medium and higher-term time frame bullishness as long as Bitcoin's above, let's call it, especially 64,000 bucks, but you could probably even move that up to like 65 at this point. Hopefully that was helpful, and well, we'll be back on tomorrow doing the same thing, same time, same place. Again, we do have to shut off the super chats, but I appreciate that. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's nice and easy, man. Thank you. Massive thank you for that, Mr. Life. Apparently Life. I feel the same way sometimes as well, man. Anyways, we'll be back on tomorrow, and Elsa's waving in the background, so all good. And with that said, take care and see you hopefully soon.
Christmas dildos moving up and down. They'll call him Crypto Krown. You've got to TA to be free. Learn how to surf in the deep Red Sea. Trendlines, average values, RSI. Lift ocean coins to the sky. From distributor into XRP. Oh, bear Jesus, set us free. Crypto what? Crypto Krown. Drifting Lambos through your town. Hodlers better buckle down, 'cause it's the final crypto what? Crypto Krown. Drifting Lambos through your town. Hodlers better buckle down, 'cause it's the final countdown. Open has the mastermind. Dive into Crypto Cave and let's go for a ride. The whales are coming very soon, very soon. Up to the moon in the afternoon. Crypto what? Crypto Krown. Drifting Lambos through your town. Hodlers better buckle down, 'cause it's the final crypto what? Crypto Krown. Drifting Lambos through your town. Hodlers better